Self-insert name Tosh. What an annoying prick. Rambling about its pronouns like we give a shit. Non-binary tales at every moment. Betas don't matter, just childish chatter. No choice but to reject this torment. The world is at stake, no one dares to care. When all this pronoun claptrap fills the air. Quest for glory tossed aside, all for this cringy canary's pride. Veil guard, just another AAA joke. Money burning on the altar of woke. Pretty to look at but nothing more, so we laugh and we cringe and keep our wallets closed until they all go poor. Combat ashore, damaged sponges galore. Millennial dialogue is such a bore. Mindless puzzles, is this a children's game? Even our kids deserve better and so much more. Veil guard, just another AAA joke. Money burning on the altar of woke. Pretty to look at but nothing more, so we laugh and we cringe and keep our wallets closed until they all go poor. Ooh, Brains numbed by battles uninspired. Puzzles solved without a thought required. What a lackluster tale. No role playing, detectable affirmation, validation, boring, safe and forgettable. Body type A or B, femininity forbidden. Vitiligo and top scars keep the cleavage hidden. Only hideous monsters representation. These lectures are nothing but desecration. Veil guard, just another AAA joke. Money burning on the altar of woke. Pretty to look at but nothing more, so we laugh and we cringe and keep our wallets closed until they all go
I think you can hear me, chat. Rosa, talk. Hey, everybody's here. Don't tell me that song wasn't a fucking banger, chat. Like, I made that on man, when did I send that to you, Rosa? Like, it was much earlier this week, wasn't it? It's like Tuesday, something like that. I think it might be maybe like Wednesday or something like that. And I haven't listened to it since, and damn, did it come out well. Oh man, I'm just gonna keep on making AI songs, chat. I fucking love making AI music. Like, it's always just gonna be meme music, you know? Anyway, Rosa just got here, like literally got here like
I just got home.
Yeah, she just got home, so we have exhausted, hurt knees, Snick.
Yeah.
But she's home.
I'm laying in bed with an ice pack on my knee.
She's
My
home.
my knee is swollen.
But you made it home safe. You're with Patho, and you're with Luna. You reunited with Luna.
Luna's currently like bathing herself because she peed herself on the ride.
Oh.
It was like at the start of the ride, she was like chill after like the first hour, but she was very, very scared. She was scared pissless.
Am I sharing my screen with you, by the way? I'm not.
You're not.
Let me share my screen with you so you know what the hell we're talking
Please
about.
do.
There you go. It's got the wrong tab open. Let me switch that over. There we go.
I had to drive the whole way because when we like packed up the car and we put everything in it, I was the last person that drove it, and so the chair was. I didn't leave my Crocs at home. I thought I did. Thank you. I love you. I love you. Mwah. Mwah.
Mwah.
Love you so much. Sorry.
Oh,
She's
man.
probably
Son send a kiss.
He did. Mwah. She sent you a kiss back.
Oh, man.
But
That's
yeah,
pretty much all you've done this week, huh? It's just moving.
yeah, it's just moving and like I built furniture.
Mhm.
We had the seat adjusted to like me, and I'm skinny. She is not so skinny, and so she like we couldn't back up the seat like for her to sit and drive, so I had to drive the whole way. She drove for a good few hours like on the way back to Miami.
Mhm.
It was nice. I had to like keep her awake when it was like late. But it was nice. It was nice. She like drove for the first few hours, and then like I got to rest. I got to sleep in the car, which is nice. 'Cause I haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah, that must be
And like
nice.
yeah, and then I took over. We like dropped by and visited my cousin, the one that made the Rosa BGM, who I hadn't seen in like 3 years. In my head, I'd seen him kind of recently, but I'd seen him in like video, not
okay.
in person. I hadn't seen him in
Oh.
person, or my aunt, or my grandma, like on my dad's side. In like years. And so it was really nice. I got to see him. He told me he's actually planning to start a podcast soon and like kind of move away from like music and start working on like political commentary.
Ooh.
Like streams.
Who is
Because
this?
he's doing my cousin, the one that made the Rosa
Oh,
BGM.
yeah. He made, well, he made my BGM too.
He
Remember?
did?
Yeah.
No, I think you're thinking of someone else. You think
Am
about the
I?
person that made the Ginny BGM. Because he doesn't make BGMs for people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he just did it for me.
I know that like we share some BGM artists at somehow.
Yeah, that would be the Ginny BGM.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure. But yeah, my cousin's the one the old one, the Rosa one.
The
The
piano
one
one?
I've had since, like, yeah, the piano one.
Yeah, but yeah, okay, gotcha.
The one I've had since the beginning. He did that one. But yeah, and so he's like, is this cold? A little bit.
What?
Oh, so sorry, Pedro asked me if my ice pack was cold.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
You're fine.
But he was telling me how he's like planning to like, because he's gone through all the music schooling and stuff. Like he has like the highest degree you can get in music. He's made connections with people in Hollywood and stuff, and he's just like, yeah, I just can't see myself working with the Hollywood people. I'm just too like, he's very much like me, where like he doesn't know how to like keep his mouth shut.
Oh yeah. He rocks the boat too much. Yeah.
Yeah, and like he's not willing to like pretend like he's someone he's not for the sake of like, you know, like that sort of like thing for like financial security for money. He can't fake it to make it. He just can't.
Okay.
He has to be himself. And he's very much like he's very anti like woke bullshit.
Oh yeah.
So he's like, she's like, yeah, like I've met all these like famous composers and people that I look up to, right? As far as like music. And they're all a bunch of fucking wokey psychos from LA. And I was like,
yeah, of course they are.
yeah, and he was like, yeah, and so it's one of those like if I want to get jobs in that field that I went to school for, right? Like I have to like cater to these people. I have to like make connections through these people, and I like you can't just do it, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing for all arts. It's the same thing with like voice acting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we were talking about it, and he was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
voice
and, like,
actors
I
are
don't know.
psychopaths. Yeah.
Yeah, he was saying how he's been like after he got his degree, because he went to Berkeley.
Oh God, that's like one of the wokiest schools out there.
Yeah, he went to the Berkeley College of Music. He did it online, but he obviously went to Boston for his certificate and like ceremony and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he like that's the school that he went to, and like he like met all these like famous people and like made all these connections, blah blah blah, and he kind of realizes just like, yeah, I just don't.
I don't want to work with these people.
Yeah, and he's kind of like lost his passion for what he's doing, and I
Mm.
told him that I think he can rekindle that by doing stuff on his own, like for his own fun. But he kind of wants to step away from it for now and just kind of focus on like, political stuff because he was telling me he did like a stream, just him and his friends just hanging out, fooling around, like
Yeah.
election night. And like he really enjoyed it. And he was like, I want to do more of that. And I was like, you should.
Yeah, sometimes you need a break from shit. Yeah, 100%. I get that.
But it was nice to go see him and see my aunt who I hadn't seen forever, and my grandma who's like dying. So it was nice to see her. She's like, it was kind of sad, but yeah. And then we drove home and Peso met my family, and my family really really liked her.
Well, that's surprising. Or is it?
No, I'm not surprised. It was really nice. Like, it was really, really nice. See my family, like, even if it was, like, them trying to, like, be happy for the sake of, like, appearances, it was still really nice. And it kind of, like, it made me sad. But it was nice. She asked me my dad's side of the family as well. And just immediately hit it off with my youngest sister, the racist one.
Of course. Of course.
She's very outgoing. The older one's a bit more like me. She's very, like, kind of shy. But the younger one is very outgoing, and like they immediately hit it off on like their like Zoomerisms.
That's funny.
But yeah, and then today I was just driving, just the whole fucking day, just driving. And I had to drive the whole way.
Oof.
Because Peter doesn't fit behind the wheel, and so I had to drive the whole way. My knee hurts. I stopped like part way and like got like some leave.
Oof.
It did not relieve me. Did not alleviate me.
Well, hopefully you can get some ice and stretch out on the bed and just kind of chill out for the show.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's me. I just got home.
Cool. By the way, the music, the guy who did mine, it's Kagamori.
Yeah, that's the person that did the
genie stuff. Right. Yeah. Okay.
That's the one that I used during the D&D streams.
Ah, okay, gotcha. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have similar news to you. I bought a house.
You guys really got it?
It's under contract right now. The closing is scheduled to complete on the 2nd of January. So I'm gonna move out there New Year's weekend. Just me and my parents are just gonna caravan out there. Over the course of the weekend, because you can't just drive to Florida from fucking Albuquerque in, a day. So we're gonna take that 3-day holiday weekend and just caravan out there, get moved in. But yeah, we just negotiated the inspection results, so that hurdle is passed, and that's like the biggest hurdle. So
yeah,
as long as things keep going as they are, then I will own that home like on New Year's pretty much. So yeah,
that's awesome.
So yeah, it's it's like move-in ready. It doesn't need any work, but I'm gonna do some work to it. Like the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fence it so that I can get a pet. Just stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not gonna go into too much detail about it because I don't want to accidentally dox myself. But yeah, it's like in a really good location, good neighborhood, low crime rates and stuff like that. Close to the beach, close to Orlando, close to Miami. It's in a really good location. And yeah, so hopefully that goes smoothly. The other major thing that I did is I watched Arcane Season 2. And honestly, I'm still processing it because that's like Season 1 is like my favorite show of all time. And Season 2 was not as good as Season 1 because so much happens in it. Like easily 2 seasons worth of stuff happens in Season 2. It's overstuffed for sure. And I could spend a whole podcast just talking about that show. Maybe I'll have to do that with Aster or something at some point because I know that he watches it too. But like we literally just finished it like less than an hour before we went live for this show.
Oh.
So it's like really fresh in my mind. And yeah, there's a lot of thoughts. My main thing is that like I was scrolling through Twitter because I have been avoiding Twitter all day today because I was like, I do not want to get spoiled on this. You know what I mean? And I only have like cursory knowledge of the lore. Like it's not super deep, but I have a pretty decent grasp of lore. But if this show is actually officially canon, like they've stated it to be in the past, then they have officially broken like a solid third of the lore. Like major like actual hero characters, like playable characters die. And it's like just holy shit. It is and like honestly, like in a vacuum, the show works fine. It does. It tries to do too much in too little time, but I think it gets across the finish line in a more or less satisfactory way. There are some issues though. Like you could tell that they had too much to do in too little time, so they just had to like cut people out. So yeah, it has its issues, but they did not stick the landing. I wouldn't call it sticking the landing, but they didn't like fall on their ass either. I don't think. Kind of more of a soft landing. Maybe like a like you think of a gymnast dismounting from like a pommel horse or something. They took a step on the dismount. We'll say that. But overall positive. But I could think of a lot of issues that I have with it off the top of my head. But I don't want to now because it just released today, and I don't want to like spoil the show. So I'm gonna keep my mouth shut for now. I'm definitely going to be watching it again. So, but the thing is, it's like, like Mr. Bear just brought up, like Riot never cared about the lore and has made sweeping changes on whims before. Yeah, like in 2016, they did a massive like retcon of the lore of all of Runeterra, pretty much. And I'm actually curious, like, how much, because the whole idea of this show and future shows, because they are doing future shows, is they basically want to make a cohesive, unified universe, so everything is canon, and it all makes sense across the entire world. That's a massive upheaval, because there's already, like, the current canon already has, like, all kinds of things that don't make sense together. And they're going to have to do a lot of rewriting, and if they're using this show as a catalyst to do that, then, well, they just threw a fucking landmine into or a grenade into the fandom. I was scrolling through Twitter after the fact, and I didn't see discussions about breaking lore, but I guarantee you they're there. I need to find them. So, yeah, it's still a great show. It's still a fantastic show. Highly recommend. But anyway, those are the two big things that I did. So with that, are you ready to get into the news?
Yeah.
Okay. First up, as always, chat. We're starting in the U.S. and then we're just taking a trip around the globe. Starting with Peanut, the saga of Peanut has come to an unfortunate end. So we remember Peanut was the squirrel that was euthanized by the Department of Agriculture or whatever after they invaded that dude and his wife's animal sanctuary, and they tried to compensate the squirrel because the squirrel was like not a legal pet, despite the fact that it was a fucking animal sanctuary. This is the couple that got, the reason they came there in the first place is because like their Instagram neighbor was jealous that the squirrel had more followers on Instagram than she did, so she ratted the squirrel out to the agricultural department or whatever. And then during the scuffle, the squirrel bit one of the handlers, and as a result of that, they killed Peanut because they had to test his brain to see if it had rabies. And as this story shows, let me bring it up here. He was marked for death and decapitation from the start, as rabies test result revealed tragic twist, meaning he tested negative. Because of course he tested...
rabies?
Of course, no, he was negative for rabies. Because of course he was, because he was domesticated. Like... So Peanut the squirrel and Fred the raccoon. Oh yeah, no, don't forget Fred, chat. Never forget Fred. Fred the raccoon did not have rabies, officials announced. Again, because they're domesticated. Look at him eating a waffle. As it was revealed, the animals were marked for death and decapitation days before they were seized by the state. The internet-famous Peanut and his raccoon pal were taken from an upstate New York home by force in a raid by state agents on October 30th that sparked outrage and accusations of government overreach as the pets were euthanized to test for rabies. Results are negative. Chemung County Executive Christopher Moss told the Post Tuesday. A newly revealed timeline shows state officials advised the county to euthanize the pets a full 7 days before they were taken from their official caretaker, Mark Longo, on October 30th. So that means that they were going to kill these creatures whether or not they bit the handlers. Like they were going to kill these animals no matter what. Which is so fucked. Even though the Department of Environmental Conservation later said that the squirrel bit an agent during the raid, sparking the need for the test. Yeah, so they lied about that. They lied about the reason, and then now they're admitting that they were going to kill the animals from the get-go, no matter what.
ATF 2.0.
Wildlife can't be confined like domestic animals, and if there was an exposure, the animals would need to be tested for rabies. Bullshit. Bullshit. A message that all but sealed the animals' fates, as rabies tests required decapitation so subjects' heads can be opened and their brains sampled. Days later, on October 29th, the DEC had laid their plans to raid Longo's home, but the DEC was also already coordinating the animals' euthanizations with Elmira Animal Control, the county's timeline shows, directly contradicting the previous explanation that Peanut had prompted his own euthanization. I am in utter shock, Longo told the Post when shown the timeline. I'd like to give you a proper statement, but for now, I'll just say wow. Longo, who says that he still hasn't received any word from officials about the animals, previously insisted that the animals were rabies-free. Well, yeah, of course he did. Like, he keeps them inside, domesticated. Like, DEC is aware of an individual in Chemung County who is known to illegally possess an adult gray squirrel and at least 4 young raccoons. They may also be in possession of other illegal wildlife species. This is like, let this radicalize you, chat. When they ask like who, what radicalized you? Peanut radicalized you, chat. That is your answer now. We would like to know if the health department would recommend these animals be tested for rabies as a precaution for human safety. That message prompted the county to reach out to the state health department which then handed down the fatal rabies test recommendations. 8 days later, the DEC raided Longo's home and took the animals, and they were put down the same day. Animal decap requested on 10/30, read a rabies report for Peanut and Fred, also released by Chemung County. Before noon the next day, the animals' bodies were in refrigerator at the rabies testing site. The fate of the bodies has not been revealed. Peanut's rabies report form did indicate that he bit wildlife operator on the thumb, but the timeline indicates that the animal's death were planned before the bite. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
Defund the DEC.
Defund the DEC. Damn right. So this is sick and twisted. This is like letter of the law kind of bullshit here happening. And again, it doesn't. I don't know if it mentions it here. Let me go down a bit. Yeah, it says that he had a massive social media following, but it just doesn't say about the fact that he was ratted out by basically an Instagram Karen. Like a Karen ratted him out. So, yeah, the whole thing is just absolutely fucked. Shut him down, Elon. Damn right. Get in there with Doge and kill him. Oh, God.
Decapitate the DEC.
Damn right.
DEC is short for decapitation.
Yes, it actually works. You're right. Okay. Let's get away from this morbid shit. A banana duct taped to a wall sold for $6.2 million at a Sotheby's art auction.
Again?
Again. Yes, again. And this is easily the most expensive one. The Maurizo's Catalan's art installation, Comedian, the name of it is called Comedian, I guess, sold at auction at Sotheby's in New York on Wednesday, purchased by a Chinese cryptocurrency entrepreneur for approximately $6.2 million. Fucking crypto bro did this. The final sale was roughly 4 times the initial estimated value, which means it was initially listed at 1 to 1.5 million. What the fuck are we doing as a species? When this is evaluated
money is what we're doing as a species.
I just blew $250,000 on a house, chat. Okay? and here I am looking at this. This got valued at least 4 times the value of the house that I just bought. Actually, no.
Twice for double that.
Twice what I bought the house for. The 250 was just like the profit I made from the last house that I sold. So that was just the down payment. It's actually worth like, I don't know, like 400, roughly that. So like 2.5 times. This banana duct taped to the wall is worth 2.5 times the house I just fucking bought, chat. That's that's the thing, NDA. Like, how is this not a laundering scheme at this point?
It's laundering. It literally is. It's not. It's not. How is this not a laundering scheme? I mean, it literally is.
Modern art is a criminal enterprise at this point.
All of fucking like high modern art, like high postmodern art, all of that is just fucking money laundering.
It has to be.
All of it.
It has to be like an organized crime syndicate of some kind. Let's see. The comedian is a single banana reportedly purchased on the day of the auction for 35 cents. And then duct taped to a blank wall. At the auction, comedian went from an $800,000 starting price to $5.2 million, plus a buyer's premium by the time it sold. Wednesday's sale is only the latest for comedian. Catalan unveiled the project to the public in 2019 at Art Basel in Miami, where 3 editions of it sold for $120,000 and $150,000. My God, dude, the money these people are throwing around. They're spending $150,000, millions of dollars on a fucking bananas taped to the wall. It's like,
piece of art didn't go bad.
It's like, I'm sorry, but you're an evil person. If you have that kind of money to blow, and instead of like using it to help people, you blow it on a fucking banana. Like, I'm not one to like charity shame or like tell people how to spend their money, but like,
it's not even that. It's like, dude, go fucking buy groceries. Go fucking like inject money into like the world, right?
Yeah,
into like your community, into the economy, into literally anything. Just go buy a car. Go buy a house. Go buy
$5 million worth of bananas and like give them to homeless people. Something useful. Oh my God. From the moment I debuted, the duct tape banana became a viral sensation and seemingly absurd commentary on the question of what is art. Writing in Art News in 2019, critic Andrew Rousseff wrote that, for many, comedian is an object lesson in the excesses of the art world, the absurdity of the art market, and the gaping wealth inequalities that now define the global economy. Yeah, that's a very nice way to put it. Yes, Andrew. I do think you're right. I think that you got this fucking Chinese crypto bro. He's just offloading cash. He's just offloading cash on this thing. Give me a break. This is such a laundering scheme. Shortly after the first sale, a performance artist simply pulled the banana off the wall and ate it in front of the crowd, an act that was repeated again in South Korea in 2023. In both cases, the banana was simply replaced and comedian continued its existence. The buyer on Wednesday was Justin Sun, founder of the Tron blockchain network, who outbid 6 others in the auction. He paid in crypto. Fucking... I hate everyone. Everyone involved in the story. I fucking hate them all. This is his statement. This is not just an artwork. It represents a cultural phenomenon that bridges the worlds of art, memes, and the cryptocurrency community. What the fuck are you talking about?
Suicide.
Yeah. Like...
that entire sentence was like several sniff farts. Back to back.
I believe this piece will inspire more thought and discussion in the future and will become a part of history. Yeah, not a good part. This is a bad part. This is a bad part of history. Like, you're a bad guy. You're a bad guy for blowing all this money. You could have helped. I mean, I bet there's like a homeless guy within like a few of them within a block of this art gallery. You could have helped them. But no, you just laundered a bunch of cryptocurrency, you know, into a fucking banana taped to a wall. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck this art gallery. Fuck this banana. Like, all of these installations. Fuck modern art. All of this. All of this is fucking just wicked and despicable. All of it. Hose straight from his anus to his nose. Damn straight, Bear.
It's the fucking death of value.
Oh my god. I hate these people so much. Okay. Here's another weird one. AI Jesus hologram is taking confessionals in a Swiss church. It's sparking backlash for blasphemy. It's like, yes. That is pretty textbook blasphemy, actually. An AI-powered Jesus has been taking confessionals for worshippers at a Swiss chapel, but the internet is divided on its ethicality. For several months, St. Peter's Chapel in Lucerne, Switzerland, has offered confessionals to patrons by providing them with an AI-powered Jesus to speak with. This world, man, I swear to God.
AI-powered Jesus sounds like the name of a song.
AI, that's going to be my next AI song, chat. I'm going to make a song about AI Jesus taking confessionals from wicked sinners. That's going to be it. While a confessional typically sees...
AI-powered Jesus, part of the Wicked Sinners album by Helmsman.
Yeah, backscan that, Christians. You know what you don't even know what that is, do you? Backscanning?
Backscanning? I don't think so.
Backscanning is back in the day when like they released everything on record. They would Christians would play the record backwards, and they would hear.
I know exactly what I'm talking about. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's backscanning. I'm gonna make AI Jesus. I'm gonna hide. I'm a Christian, by the way, and I would absolutely troll this church doing this blasphemous shit. Just make an AI Jesus album and have a bunch of satanic shit in the back for backscanners to find.
Yeah, like people always talk about how like fucking Spirit to Heaven in reverse has like a bunch of
it says like, it says like, oh my sweet Satan and stuff like that. Yeah. And it now, to be fair, when you listen to it, it is kind of clearly saying that. It's pretty easy to hear.
Oh, it's very clear.
Yeah.
Like, it's very clear. That's it. That's one of those songs where it's like you listen to it and like a lot of the way that they say words seems weird when you listen to it forward.
It's a weird song.
Right? I genuinely think that song was actually like purposely made that way.
I think it was too.
Because again, like the way that they like accentuate words in that song is odd. For like even for the song itself, like it sounds weird, and then you play it backwards and it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was entirely purposeful.
Yeah, I think it was too. Like the whole thing was done as like this troll of the Christian church, I think. Developed by computer scientists and theologians from the Lucerne University of Applied Sciences and Arts. AI Jesus can speak in 100 different languages and is trained in the New Testament. Before worshippers, I hope he's trained in the Bible. That'd be a good start. Before worshippers confess their sins to the AI-powered Jesus. Man, AI-powered Jesus hits different than just AI Jesus, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah.
It's-
AI-powered Jesus.
yeah, I like AI-powered Jesus more. He cautions them by saying, "Do not disclose personal information under any circumstances. Use this service at your own risk. Press the button if you accept." The whole point of confessional is to disclose deep personal information. That's why, like, even in confessional, there's a barrier, so you can't.
Tell it deep personal information. The AI Jesus will be like, "Oh, what's that? You're having like you did this? Wow, you're a slut, just like Becky, huh?" It's like, what the fuck, Jesus?
Also,
Jesus,
like,
what's the thing?
do you think that, like, that
Oh my
that
god, what's it from church? What?
AI Jesus is like a Karen.
He's like, yeah, dude. She told me. She told me
Yeah.
she did this.
Yeah, AI Jesus turns out to be like an AI, like a Karen
Like-
gossip merchant. And she like
Yeah, like an AI cheese man. Cheese man bot.
Yeah. I wonder, like, if you like that woman who was like found like decapitated in a creek like 30 years ago. That was me. You know what I mean? Like confessing that the AI Jesus immediately just calls the cops. It's like, I got one. I honeypotted one.
Yeah, Jesus. Wait, the way that you worded
Some
that was
fucking
weird.
snitch.
So, like, the way that you worded that was weird. I'm imagining the fucking AI Jesus then tells the next person, like, "Oh, the last person I talked to, they're a dead person. Their head is in a creek." What?
That'd be hilarious if like AI Jesus was just like trolling people and everything like that. But here's the thing, though, is that like the whole thing about confessional, it's just very a Catholic thing, right? Is that you're supposed to be talking like through a conduit. Like the priest is supposed to be like a conduit to Jesus, essentially. You're not actually talking directly to Jesus, if that makes sense. So like it's not even like really getting it right. It should be like an AI priest. So Marco Schmidt, a theologist of St. Peter's Chapel, stated that while their AI-powered Jesus has its limits, his answers to patrons have matched our theological understanding of St. Peter's Chapel. After the internet caught notice of the unique phenomena, netizens were divided about whether or not confessing to a non-human was ethical or useful. I don't care if this is sacrilegious or really cool. I don't know if this is sacrilegious or really cool. The former. This is weird and people should condemn it. Yeah, that's where I'm at with this. This is a bad usage of AI, not a good usage. They might be onto something though. It could serve as free therapy for people. Confessionals isn't for therapy. That's not what confessional is for. Confessional isn't for fucking therapy. God. Many others raise concerns about worshippers' confessions being accessible online, given that AI is a computer-generated technology. Well, that's why it has a disclaimer at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
It's like, do not disclose personal information under any circumstances. Use this service at your own risk. Press the button if you accept. Thanks, Jesus. Oh, man.
Fine, sell out.
Though controversial, St. Peter's Chapel isn't the only establishment around to use AI. Elon Musk's Tesla continues to expand its horizons by creating humanoid robots and posts on social... Okay, this is just SEO bullshit. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, so...
Jesus is selling information on the black market.
I know, right? He's like gathering... Yeah, he's like... Jesus is going to be blackmailing online like every member of that church now. It's like, I know what you did. I know what you did, Dave. Oh my gosh.
I mean the account, Dave. Send me the Bitcoin, Dave.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to a big story. The Jake Paul versus Tyson fight.
I watched it live.
I did not watch it live. We'll get to why in a minute. Because I was there for you for the first couple. We're gonna get to that, but I did watch the fight after the fact, and I think a snoozer is a good way to describe it. It was a boring fight. I don't really blame Jake for making it boring, essentially, because if I was in a ring because he knows that Tyson needs to like knock him out in the first couple rounds, or else he's just gonna get gassed, and Jake knew that, and he played into that. He basically ran and hid the whole first couple rounds. So let's see here. Jake Paul won a unanimous decision. And I was saying in the chat while we were watching the card, when Patha was asking, actually, I was like, you want to avoid decision by judges as much as possible, because they're notoriously bad. Let's see. The highly anticipated Netflix fight was marred by streaming issues throughout the night. Yep, that's what happened to you. Yeah, it was a BS fight, NDA. Honestly, the mid card was actually really good. That the Aztec guy, the two Mexican guys, that was a fantastic fight, and the women's fight was actually a really good fight too.
I didn't like the women's fight.
Huh?
I didn't like the women's fight.
Oh, really? I thought it was a pretty good fight, actually.
It was like watching like a fucking like Dragon Ball fight. Like they weren't really like doing any sort of anything like actually intelligent. Like they weren't like really blocking. They were just kind of just wailing.
Well, this is every women's fight, though. Like every women's fight turns into this, where they become uncoordinated, and they kind of start flailing.
Yeah, they just start flailing their arms into each other's faces and seeing who gets more fucking not knocked out, because they don't have the strength to knock each other out, but like
strength, yeah.
Who gets more like bloodied first, I guess. And then the one chick just kept fucking just like nudging her head forward while doing it. So
that was annoying. That was that she
even the entire fight. She kept doing it.
And she even got she only got 1 point deducted for it in one of the rounds too, which I thought was like ridiculous. It's like,
dude,
no, you can't.
Okay. She did it like 4 fucking times. Like, okay, once is an accident, right? Twice, okay, we gotta talk about this. 3 times, like, come the fuck on. 4 times?
Yeah, she did it like the whole fucking fight, and it was annoying as hell. And everybody's like, "Well, that's just the way. That's her fighting style." It's like her fighting style shouldn't be allowed. like what?
Yeah, it's you box with your hands, not your fucking head.
Yeah,
that's against the rules. After it happened twice, that's the 3rd time she should have been disqualified. Simple as.
Yeah.
They should have called it and then just given it to the chick.
Mm-hmm. The one chick, the chick that lost, who should have won.
Yeah.
She got
Dude,
her eye got fucked up.
She had like 100 more fucking like hits, right?
Mm-hmm.
She had a slightly higher ratio, so she didn't just hit more. She also like
landed more.
She threw out more punches and she also landed more, right?
Yeah.
But like on top of that, it's like the other chick also got a point deducted. Like how the math ain't mathin', dog.
Yeah, and once again, you let it go to the decision, you get fucked. Like that's just the way it is. Because that burial fight, that second fight, which is like the best fight of the card, that one went to a draw.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
But also like I see it.
Yeah, it was a really good back and forth.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tyson managed to win the first 2 rounds. Because Paul was basically just kind of trying to run him out of his steam. Paul found his groove and landed a whopping 78 of his 278 thrown punches to just 18 of Tyson's 97 attempts. And I have to say, there was a few punches that Tyson absolutely looked like he pulled. There was at least a couple that I saw that were like, what the fuck was that?
I think that when Jake first clenched him, he told him to like take it easy.
Oh, is that the one where Tyson gives a little tap on the back when they release?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
And then from then on, Tyson's all sluggish. Yeah, I am very suspect about the legitimacy of that fight.
Yeah.
Final rounds came with boos from the AT&T stadium crowd, and neither combatant made much effort to do anything as the clock ran down to the 2-minute rounds. Yeah. 80 to 72, 79, 73, 79, 73 for Paul. It may not have been. It may not have even been that close. Mike Tyson wasn't taking his fight with Jake Paul to add to his stats, neither the 44 knockouts nor the 50-6 record. This wasn't just about the $20 million payout either, though the lump sum is likely the most he'd ever earned for one fight. Instead, Tyson, 58, and at least a decade past his prime, was squaring off against an internet sensation half his age, he said, so his children could see what he once was. But they didn't get to see what you once were. You were called Killer Mike. You weren't a killer. To get a glimpse of if you want to get a glimpse of him, just watch him fight Frazier or whatever, A fight Tyson knows was before his children's time. Netflix has about 6 weeks to figure it out. Oh, yeah. The streaming service first foray into airing a big live sporting event with Mike Tyson boxing Jake Paul on Friday night turned into a nightmare as Netflix did not have the requisite bandwidth and viewers were livid over buffering issues. Netflix will be airing an NFL doubleheader on Christmas featuring the Chiefs versus Steelers and the Ravens versus Texans, games that will both have big playoff implications in the AFC. As sports fans were encountering obstacles of watching Tyson versus Paul, concern was already spreading on social media that Netflix might not be able to handle everyone who wants to watch the NFL on Christmas. Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, I'll be honest with you. I think, they have the money. They're just gonna fucking buy more servers.
That's what they have to do. They have the money to do
Yeah,
it.
I think they just didn't expect the fucking turnout that they got.
And this is what they're paying for it. Netflix hit with a $50 million class action lawsuit over the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight streaming glitches. A Florida man has filed a class action lawsuit against Netflix over the poor streaming quality that affected millions during the widely viewed boxing match between former heavyweight champion Mike Tyson and YouTube personality Jake Paul on Friday night. Ronald Blue Denton, a resident of Hillsborough County, Florida, alleged that the streaming giant was guilty of breach of contract over the frequent glitches, according to TMZ. The class action lawsuit filed in Florida State Court is seeking damages of at least $50 million. 60 million Americans were hyped to see Iron Mike Tyson, the baddest man on the planet, versus YouTuber turned prize fighter Jake Paul. What they saw was the baddest streaming on the planet, the lawsuit claims. It got memed into oblivion on Twitter too.
Yeah, dude, bro, we were watching that shit in Mike Tyson Prime era graphics.
Yeah, it was awful. I mean, you couldn't watch it, and you were even going back 5-10 minutes, a long time, and it still wasn't loading. That's how bad it was. It was alleged that many viewers missed portions of the fight due to the interruptions. Netflix customers experienced massive streaming issues and should have known better because it's happened before. They were woefully ill-prepared, according to the lawsuit.
The upside didn't happen during the Mexican fight. It happened during the women's fight, which is
Yeah, we got to see the best fight by far, clean.
Yeah.
And it started having shit issues between that fight and the women's fight. That's when it started glitching out. Citing over 100,000 people complaining online, the lawsuit claimed that boxing fans, along with the average Americans wanting to see a legend in what would most likely be his last fight, were faced with legendary problems, including no-access, streaming glitches, and buffering issues. During the bout, many viewers took to social media to express their frustrations with streaming and buffering problems before and during the fight. According to the website Down Detector, nearly 85,000 viewers logged problems with outages or streaming leading up to the fight. The bout was scheduled for 8 2-minute rounds as opposed to the normal 3 minutes and 10 or 12 rounds for most pro fights. Paul won the fight by unanimous decision. Netflix has said that the bout was watched by a worldwide audience of 60 million and peaked at 65 million concurrent streams. It said nearly 50 million households. Damn. I know. It's that's easily the biggest viewership that Tyson's ever gotten. It said nearly 50 million households were tuned in for the co-main event between Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. And Serrano got fucked by that fight. In which Taylor kept her undisputed super lightweight championship with another disputed decision. Yep. That... my thing, it's the headbutting aside, I mean, it was basically just two women scrapping, Yeah. But I get enjoyment out of that, honestly. So that might be just a bias. Netflix said it would provide additional viewership information, including total viewers this coming week. The bout between the YouTuber turned boxer Paul and Tyson 58. Yeah, we all know about this. Okay. But yeah, they have NFL and WWE streaming events on the horizon. So it's they better get their shit together. So, all right, that's all I had on the boxing match. What did you think of the card?
I just liked the Mexican fight, but other than that, I also really enjoyed the first fight. That was funny. Watching the Indian guy rape the Brazilian.
It was a meme fight, but it was entertaining.
Huh? Oh yeah, it was funny.
It was a meme fight. But it was entertaining. It was a comedian and who was the other guy?
An actor.
An actor, yeah. It was the Bollywood actor who was an RRR versus a comedian.
What did he play? Someone was oh yeah, this guy was an RRR. It's yeah, but who was he?
Yeah, I have no idea. I didn't recognize him.
Good night.
He wasn't any of the main characters, that's for sure, because I know the main characters of those movies. But yeah, I think you're right. The first one was dumb but entertaining. Second one, easily, like, I think everybody thinks that second fight was the best fight of the night.
I think that was the best fight I've watched in my lifetime.
Lifetime, huh? That's high praise.
Well, that I've watched, which is not a lot.
Oh, okay. So. I grew up in Vegas, so I've seen a lot of them. I've seen a lot of them live, too. Third fight, I thought it was entertaining, but there was annoying parts of it, and the decision was bullshit. Serrano should have won that fight. But I find entertainment into supposedly well-trained women just scrapping at each other like that. I think it's fucking hilarious. And I get entertainment out of it. And then, the Tyson Paul fight was a snooze fest. Let's be real here. It was boring. So
it was the most boring fight of the entire event.
Oh god, yeah, by far. So, all right. Let me see here. There's a quick one. Warner Brothers is selling 10 fully functional but not street legal tumbler Batmobiles from Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight movies.
What the fuck?
Each is priced at $3 billion. So these are completely functional, but you can't take them out on the street. It's like, well,
so cool.
Technically Batman, you know.
That's fine.
They were totally functional for Batman, and they were also not legal for the street, but Batman, you know. Wait, does that mean that the rocket booster in the back is functional? Does that mean that like one of these things could come out as a motorcycle? Like, I want to know if that's the case. I have a feeling not.
I mean, someone's gonna buy this.
Oh,
someone
God,
that has
$3 million to blow.
Yeah,
Chinese crypto bro, maybe.
Someone who has the kind of money definitely has like the space to drive it, like the personal space to drive it. So,
but yeah, somebody who's just got a lot of land that they just like do donuts in this thing. I bet this thing is really fun to like do donuts in, though. Like, not gonna lie, I would love to be able to drive this thing.
That's so cool.
It's freaking cool looking. Mattel mistakenly prints porn site in the Wicked doll boxes. This was funny. So you know the movie Wicked that came out?
Yeah.
It's like the next Barbie. It's gonna be fucking huge, even though it's like cringe. Although I will say Barbie was better than I thought it was gonna be. You loved Barbie.
Oh, dude, I love that movie. I watched it again with Peso.
Yeah.
I started dating Peso with a Barbie quote. And I got engaged to her with a reference to that same quote.
Yeah?
Yeah. While wearing a Knuff sweater.
What was the quote? I gotta know now.
Okay, so for context, right? When we first started dating, right? After we were like confessed and we were like, you know, whatever, she was still kind of overthinking. She was like, wait, so like, are we like together? Like, is it official? And then, you know, as a joke, because we had just watched the Barbie movie, like, I had just watched it like 3 times back to back and it was still like fresh in my mind. I asked her if she would be my long-term, long-distance, high commitment, not at all casual girlfriend. And then when I asked her to marry me, right? We got engaged.
Am I kid enough? Am I kid enough?
No, I put on the I am Knuff sweater, the official one from Mattel, and I bought. It's very cozy. I love it very much. I'm glad I bought the official one. It's really well made. It's really nice. And I asked her if she would be my permanent, minimal distance, maximum commitment, not even a little bit casual girl wife. And she said yes.
Nice.
And I asked her, I asked her like that because again it was like a little reference to like when I asked her out originally.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Very, very wholesome.
So, yeah. The Barbie movie is forever tied to my relationship somehow.
There you go. Well, Well, anyway, as with a lot of these movies, especially like movies like Barbie and stuff like that, they come out with official merchandise that looks like this. And the whole problem with this is that the name of the movie is Wicked. So on the back of the boxes, there's a link to a website, wicked.com.
Oh no!
If you know anything about the internet, there it is, right there, wicked.com. The real site for the film is wickedmovie.com.
Oh no!
So,
Oh no!
So,
Oh no!
hundreds of the Mattel boxes on eBay have the error, though they're still for sale. The mix-up was exposed on X by fans who shared photos of the packaging and slammed Mattel for its mistake. Hey, at Mattel, whoever is responsible for your marketing/packaging for the new official Wicked dolls made a huge mistake. The HTTP wicked.com on your packaging takes you to a porn site. Oh damn, Mattel, this isn't going to end well. The Wicked dolls have the URL of a porn site on the back of the box. Oh my dear God, Mattel accidentally listed wicked.com instead of wickedmovie.com on the Wicked Movie doll boxes, and it seems to be on most of the boxes of the assortment. Another person tweeted, whoever did the Mattel Wicked dolls packaging is cooked, indeed. Somebody else added, Mattel, I was so excited after I bought your toy, and when I went to wicked.com to see more Wicked products, I was met with hardcore pornography. This is unacceptable. I expect reimbursement. There is also a Reddit thread about the situation. One user wrote, someone is going to get fired for this. I think someone should get fired for this. This is a pretty significant oversight. This has to be fixed. The director... oh, no, that's the name of the information for the movie. But funny enough, the misprint drove a 12-year surge of traffic to the porn site. So Wicked.com got a ton of free traffic out of this.
That's fucking funny. It's really fucking fun.
Yeah, so it has yielded a bonanza of traffic for Wicked Pictures, the adult entertainment company that actually owns the web address. In the last 2 days, searches for Wicked.com have surged to their highest level since mid-2012. According to the Google Trends analytics tool, that has been driven by media coverage of Mattel's mistake in listing the URL on the packaging of the special edition Wicked dolls, which are being sold at retailers including Target, Amazon, and Kohl's. The official website for the Universal Pictures film, SEO crap, which has seen a similar spike in search activity over the past 2 days, according to Google Trends. Wicked Pictures was formed with a firm commitment to producing quality parody porn movies. And the funny thing is that there's probably a porn movie already in existence of Wicked, because it's a really super famous Broadway play before this movie came out. I bet you there's actually a parody of Wicked on the Wicked website, which is kind of like an additional layer of irony. Including X-rated titles riffing on Marvel's Black Widow and Captain Marvel. These are the ones who famously directed by, what's his name? Axl Rose, I think is his name. Axl, is it Axl something like that? And everybody basically memes the fact that, like, why do the costumes in the porn parody look better than the actual versions?
Well, Axl Rose is that's the guy who's be part of what was that band?
Oh, like Guns N' Roses or something like that?
No.
What's his name? It's something. It's Axel something, I think. Axel Braun. Thank you, villain. Thank you, villain. Wicked needs to capitalize on this and celebrate it.
Yeah, it's Guns N' Roses. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the lead vocalist.
So yeah, Wicked got a nice big boost out of this, which is fucking hilarious. And I bet if people actually stayed on the site and dug a little bit, they would find the Wicked porn parody, which is extra funny. Okay. I got some interesting airline information story here. I want you to watch this. You watch this. Okay. Listen. Oh, see that? What do you think that is?
Wait.
Take a guess as to what that is.
those bullet holes?
You are correct. Airlines suspend Haiti flights after plane hit by gunfire.
What the fuck?
Several airlines have suspended flights to Haiti, famously known for being paradise, according to Conan O'Brien, after a passenger plane from the U.S. was hit by gunfire as it tried to land in Port-au-Prince. Spirit Airlines flight, by the way, Spirit Airlines is a shit airline. That's what you get for flying on Spirit Airlines. Flight 951 from Fort Lauderdale in Florida was diverted to the neighboring Dominican Republic, where it landed safely at Santiago Airport. A flight attendant suffered minor injuries, but no passengers were hurt in the attack. The second in 3 weeks on aircraft flying over...
During COVID?
Wait, say it again?
You know, like when gas got like really fucking expensive and shit? Like fuel? Spirit Airlines was still really cheap. You know why?
Tell me.
So apparently Spirit Airlines had made a deal with the people that provide their fuel to, instead of basically buying fuel whatever the price is, right? They would buy the fuel at an upcharge from what it was at the time. And they basically had a contract so that however, regardless of what the price of fuel is, for the next like 10, 20 years, something like that, however long the contract was, they would always buy fuel at the same price. Regardless of whether the fuel got more expensive or less expensive, they'll always buy at the same price. And at the time, like the economy was like really like good, so they were like, oh, like yeah, sure, we'll sell you fucking gas for like more money than what we're currently selling it for. Sure, we'll make that deal. And then when the price of gas like skyrocketed because they had that deal, Spirit Airlines was still getting their gas at like half the price that everyone else was getting it at because they had that deal. So they kept paying the same amount they've always paid.
Why would a gas company make that deal? What a stupid decision to make. So that kind of contract is called a firm fixed price, FFP contract, which is a contract where you basically say, like, this is the price, and it's going to stay that price for the length of the contract. That contract can be 5, 10, 15, 20 years, which is insane because it doesn't even account for like just minor upticks, year over year for inflation. It doesn't even have that in it. It's a really bad deal.
Yeah.
And I'm amazed that people accept FFP contracts these days. So
yeah, it's very, very silly. But that's why. Especially that's the reason why Spirit Airlines, they have like a really old like FFP contract that's still active.
That's fucking wild. And it's especially true for like something with as much market volatility as fuel, which makes it like doubly stupid of a deal for the fuel companies to take. So yeah, that's wild. Let's see. So that's the thing. A flight attendant. Here we go. The second in 3 weeks on aircraft flying over Haiti's capital. So this is the second time it's happened in less than a month. The incident comes. You have to remember that Haiti is.
I've never flown to Haiti.
Remember, Haiti has like a cannibal that took over the government or whatever. If you remember that. The incident comes as a new prime minister took office in the crisis-hit country, which had been plagued by armed gangs and escalating violence. Oh, okay, so they have a government back in place again, it sounds like. Okay. Alex Didier Philosaime, some fucking Frenchie, said his priority was restoring security, according to AFP news agency. Notwithstanding the country's difficult circumstances, he promised to put all of his emergency skills and patriotism at the service of the national cause. The businessman, who stood unsuccessfully for a seat in the Senate in 2015, studied at Boston University. He was installed by the country's ruling council after the previous leader, Gary Conille, was ousted less than 6 months into the job. He still lasted longer than Liz Truss over in Britain. The Spirit Airlines flight had been scheduled to land at Toussaint Louverture International Airport just before 12 o'clock when it was hit. Unverified video of the incident shared on social media appeared to show several bullet holes on the inside of the aircraft where the crew sit during takeoff and landing. The airline said that the damage is consistent with gunfire, but found when the plane was inspected at Santiago Airport. The aircraft was taken out of commission, Spirit added. And then a bunch of other flights were diverted. UN-backed policing mission led by officers from Kenya had begun in June in an attempt to wrest back control from the gangs. Spirit is a low-cost airline based in Florida, which flies throughout the U.S., Caribbean, and Latin America. Yeah, they're called Bear Fare Airlines. That's what they're called. So like the base cost is really low, but they nickel and dime you for everything imaginable, to the point where like it generally comes out to like roughly the same price as a normal airline ticket.
Yeah.
I fucking hate Bear Fare Airlines. They suck. But anyway, we're gonna keep on the transportation news here, and we're gonna talk about this. Have you seen this?
What is? Oh, the Jaguar logo.
No, the Jaguar ad. Have you not seen
Wait,
this?
what? No.
We're just gonna watch this ad. So Jaguar put this out on the 19th. This is like 4 days ago when they released this ad. You take a look at the ratio, by the way, just to get an idea. Oh, there you go, chat. Take a look at this ratio, chat, so you get a good idea. We're gonna play this.
Wait, what's is it? Top fucking Elon Musk? Do you sell cars?
We'll get to that. So you can see why Elon asked them, do you sell cars? It's like, if I started the video here and ended it here, which I probably should have done, actually, would you have ever guessed that this was for a car company?
No.
No. Like, the closest, I would have guessed that it was for Crayola. That would have been my guess. Like, this is for crayon eaters, specifically.
Well, no. I would have guessed that this is one of like another like black people wearing red doing satanic like music stuff.
But it's like
that would have been my guess. Like this is like some weird like artists that I don't know of because I don't fucking follow like modern like retard pop. That would have been my guess. Like, oh, there's some like famous like artist that everyone likes. That's like very openly like a Satanist and like
Well, yeah, it looks like one of those weird LA fashion shows where they like wear this weird alien nonsense and they call that fashion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, what is with these drag queen, these androgynous drag queen Skittles come to life? You got. Look at the lineup too. Like, just look at the lineup. You've got, this guy. She cut like a cube of her hair, of her afro out, so it looks like I was gonna say like Black Pac-Man, which is just like. So there's that, and then you have like meth addict, pedophile, John Cena back here. You get a better look at him later in the ad. You have androgynous Asian lady wearing like a pool float, I guess.
That's a man.
Is it?
Yeah.
This guy gets. You got Zaz, the Batman villain, back here. And then you have this. It looks like, the makeup just like exploded in her face. Creature. And then you have this woman who's like showing off her non-existent abs. I'm just like, what the fuck is? So they walk out. They're like on this. They're on like fucking pink Mars or something. And you have this, like, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what any of this is. She looks like she's wearing a bunch of fruit roll-ups.
Yeah.
I just don't. Live vivid. Okay, here's meth addicted John Cena here. Get you a good look of that. Who has a paintbrush?
He does look like John Cena.
Yeah, he totally does. Who paints? He makes a.
He
white
looks like
paint.
John Cena and what's his name?
Jim Carrey.
No. No. The guy that plays Green Goblin. The Green Gobble.
Oh, Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, it was like John Cena. Willem Dafoe had a baby.
And that baby was addicted to meth.
Yeah.
So you have
You could say that.
You have that thing. Then you have this thing.
What? You're not Luna. Hi, someone. What are you doing here?
The pets are
Where's Old
exploring.
One?
The pets are exploring their new environments. Chat.
Well, someone didn't have been here for like a week.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Oh, get out.
Well,
Out.
Luna's
This is
learning.
Luna's
Luna's learning.
Luna's fucking scared shitless. Scared pissless.
She'll be okay.
I looked over and I thought like Luna like had come out of her little. I have her in her little bed, right?
Mhm.
That I brought from home. She's like very nervous because she's not used to being around male cats or any other cats
okay.
other than Stella, for that matter.
Right.
The only other cat that she's ever interacted with other than Stella was Garfield, right? My
Mhm.
sister's cat. It was a little cunt we had locked up in her room, for like a full weekend. And other than that, it was Stella's mom who hissed and batted. So
Yeah, Luna's gotta. She's gonna miss Stella, I'm sure.
oh no, her and Stella fight.
Oh, really? Oh, she's not gonna miss Stella.
Yeah.
She's happy to be away from Stella
No.
then.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's that. But anyway, we have this creature who, for whatever reason, just like decided to show off nothing. There's like nothing here to show off. There's not a tattoo or nothing. Why is this gap here? And then wear a hula skirt, I think. Something.
And what gap?
Oh yeah, he starts off upside down too for some reason.
Hold on.
Oh.
Can you like zoom in? Show me the gap.
There, look at that. This. What?
It's for his cleavage. His womanly cleavage. That's
This
a
is
woman,
like-
don't you know?
This is the
This is what women
vanilla.
look like
This is
now.
the Vanilla Ice bad ending right here.
Yeah, Lumba. Yeah, this is what women look like now in
got a-
America and France.
So he's got a sledgehammer here because, of course, all the androgynous people have to be portrayed as being violent. And then he's like lamenting something here. He's also got like, what do you call these? Like Timberlands on or something down here.
Bro's got like a busted ass fucking like ankle. Like go back, what the fuck's going on? Like where his ankle meets the boot? Like you see that?
Yeah, why is it bent there?
What's happening?
I don't know. This whole thing is just mesmerizingly weird. And they all come together. They stare at the camera, and then they, in artistic fashion, they all look in a different direction. There's something over there, apparently. We don't know what. I guess more pink rocks. Who knows? And then they look back, and then they leave. And they walk backwards and leave. And now I want to buy a Jaguar, apparently. I guess.
Now I wanna pretend like Jaguar doesn't exist anymore.
So, in fashion, do you sell cars? Says Elon. This is the thing that's crazy is that Jaguar is like unironically replying to all these tweets in the replies. They say, yes, we'd love to show you. Join us for a cuppa, whatever the fuck a cuppa is.
This is automated. This is automated as hell.
In Miami on 2nd of December? Question mark. Warmest
cup
regards,
of coffee.
Jaguar.
Or a cup of tea.
This made me want to sell my Jaguar, and I don't even own a Jaguar. Where's the car? The story is unfolding. Stay tuned. Are you guys at a car company or something else? Soon you'll see things our way. See, they're like confidently replying to all of these people making fun of them. Hello, thanks for the feedback. We'll be sure to pass it on to the team. Best wishes. Yeah, this is an automated account. This is an AI-driven account. This is surely a joke. A pivotal moment. Edgy. Will it sell cars? Consider this the first brushstroke. Do you see how they're like unironically replying to this shit? Like
Yeah.
they think that this is a slam dunk campaign. Reminds me of this. Behold, our newest ad campaign. You know, the androgynous Skittle Club over here. Are you sure this will help us sell more cars? Cars? It's like, yeah. Somebody tried to fix it. Fix it for your awful ad took 2 minutes, which is just putting in a nice car with a hot lady in front of it.
Yep.
And the OG
Boom.
logo, because you also notice that like they got rid of the Jaguar and the Jaguar logo. It's just the letters now. Like they got rid of the iconic part of the logo. It's just bad. But I guess we all should have seen this coming. We all should have seen this coming because this is their current head of branding, Santino Petrosanti. You see, he's got a see-through shirt here, so you can see his pecs, I guess, his man tits. Hang on.
Transitioning at work?
All these seals in the audience just clapping along.
What is transitioning at work?
You got me.
You brought in a transition. Fucking, what's what I'm looking for? Not therapist. A transition. Surgeon. You can get your transitions at work. We got you.
They got a room just right there for you. It's the cock chop room. Notice that his jacket is like a sequined.
That's what's gonna make you fucking poor as shit.
This is the CEO. Like, so yeah, you kind of people. We also should see this coming, chat. This should have been, seen a mile away. A mile away.
Is Jaguar the fagmobile?
And of course, this happened as a result. Now, interestingly, they've been plummeting since September, pretty much. But this didn't help. Now, they do have this tiny little uptick at the bottom. I think this might be people, like, buying the dip, That's all this is. But you can see that over 3 months, it's down 28%. They lost over a quarter of the value of the company in just 3 months. So, yeah, not looking too good for them. So, yeah, more ridiculous tone-deaf marketing from weird DEI cultists at yet another, compromised company. All it takes is one fucking, intern, to ruin this shit. It's not difficult. So, I love my kitty, but pride needs to stop. Oh god, dude. Well, pride isn't pride anymore. Pride is fucking kink and debauchery and degeneracy. It's not pride.
Like, I was having a conversation with my cousin recently. Like, I was all for like pride back when like pride as a concept was like, hey, we're normal people too, right? Originally, it was the concept of like the pride parades and all that was like a plea to normalcy.
Yes.
Now it's a plea to insanity.
Now it's a plea to it's still like trying to normalize degeneracy though. It's still like a plea to normalcy, but it's like that's not what I meant. I meant so originally it was a plea to normalcy in the sense of hey, we're normal too, right? We're just normal people. We just want to do normal things that people do, like get married, right? Mm-hmm. It was when I say it's a plea to normalcy, I mean it is we fit into the current box that defines what normal is.
Exactly. Yeah, we're trying to assimilate.
Right.
Right? Which is good. That's what it should have been.
The current is the opposite of that.
Yeah, the current is we want to take over and you need to accept us for whatever debauchery we want, basically.
Yeah, it's like
Fuck
before,
your normalcy.
like there's this
Now
box of
we own it.
normalcy, and we want to convince you that we fit into that box of normalcy. Now it's we are going to shame you into making the box bigger to incorporate our bullshit. Our degeneracy. It's that's what it is now. It's when you have people dressed up in doggy gimp suits and twerking in front of children in the middle of the street in the middle of the day, you have fucking lost the plot. You have completely lost the plot at that point. Oh yeah, that's literally the thing I just referenced, NDA, because that's like the most iconic image of it, right? Is that dude in like a gimp suit dressed up like a dog, and he's like getting petted by a like a literal 4-year-old, yeah, they've completely lost the plot. But let me see here. Okay, so that's your up. Let's head over to the Middle East. Archaeologists make a remarkable discovery of 4,000-year-old town hidden in Arabian oasis.
Huh?
So remember how last time we were together, there was that giant Mayan city that was discovered on accident? But, well, they found another one in Arabia. Like, these are both recent. They find this giant 4,000-year-old town. Well, it's a town, but they find this 4,000-year-old town in the middle of an Arabian oasis.
That's cool.
Yeah, so this is obviously a render. This isn't like... But yeah, it's let's see. The remains of a long-lost town dating back to the early Bronze Age were uncovered in a Saudi Arabian oasis by archaeologists who say the stunning discovery offered proof of the region's shift from a nomadic to urban existence. And yes, Jack, before you say it, I did cover this with Asa last time, but I wanted to cover it with Roza as well, so I'm covering it again. A French Saudi research team unearthed a 4,000-year-old hidden town named Al-Nata within the walled oasis of Khaybar. I fucking love these names. Saying these names just sounds cool.
Yeah.
Al-Nata, Khaybar. Like, they just have cool sounding names, man. Like, say what you will about the Middle East, man, but their like naming things is on fire, whatever you call that. A fertile land surrounded by desert in the northwest of the Arabian Peninsula, according to a new study. The ancient town, which dates back to 2400 BC, is believed to have been a 2.6 hectare settlement with around 50 multi-story homes that housed approximately 500 residents. French archaeologist Guillaume Charlot, who led the study, published in the journal PLOS 1. So this is, I guess, an aerial view of it. It's kind of hard to tell. Okay, all these all this stuff here, these are all the buildings right in here. There's another cluster here. There's some out here. But yeah, it looks like this is like a road or something. No, this is a wall. This is the wall here. But yeah, it's freaking cool, man. I think that we're still discovering this shit, Like, you always say that, like, man, we found everything there is to find. How is there anything still hidden? It's like, well, yep, there's still plenty of shit hidden out there to find, which is cool. It's really cool. She'll said that the well-structured community was surrounded by protective ramparts and also included a probable decision-making zone and a necropolis, containing metal weapons and stones such as agate. I did not agate. YouTube subtitles, agate. His team of researchers also believed that the town was home to a powerful leader based on the approximately 16-foot-high ramparts the outlet reported. So I guess these things are still intact. These rampart walls. So they can yeah. I mean, it makes sense. It's just a bunch of rocks piled on top of each other with mortar put between them. They're pretty long-lasting, The town was abandoned about 1,000 years later, between 1500 and 1300 BC, leaving few clues as to why, the researchers said. However, the discovery revealed that a slow urbanism process, according to archaeologists who theorized the town's deterioration was caused by environmental shifts, limited resources, or changes in trade routes. Yeah, that's pretty much what stopped what killed those Mayan cities so rapidly, too. You could get a disease wiped through, but I don't think that's the case because you'd have bodies and skeletons and all kinds of stuff. You don't have that. They would just abandon the town, like, as a whole civilization, which was kind of fucking wild.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Think about.
But this is interesting because, like, in the Arabian desert, this is a very nomadic kind of culture. So to see these, like, more established permanent structures in place is really interesting to see. But So yeah, cool little tidbit of archaeology. And then keeping with some science stuff, well-preserved remains of a saber-toothed kitten found frozen in the Russian tundra.
Yo,
This is what it looks like.
that's so cool.
That's how it actually is today. This isn't like a rendering. It was frozen in ice.
Cute.
I know. So scientists have discovered a pristine fossil of a mummified saber-toothed kitten that had been frozen in the Russian tundra for about 37,000 years. The carcass of a large cub, estimated to be about 3 weeks old, was found encased in a block of ice in the Republic of Sanka, located in Russia's far east along the, oh my god, Bajirika River in 2020, according to a paper published in Scientific Reports on Thursday. That's a pretty decent size. You can see the scale here, like that's 1 centimeter here. That's a pretty decent size. Look at his big old poofy cheeks. Radiocarbon dating puts the cub of the Homotherium latidens species in the late Pleistocene period, according to the researchers. Yep, that checks out. That's when the Ice Age was. The remains contained the head and the anterior part of the body preserved on the edge of the chest. The mummy's head was especially well preserved, and the forelimbs of the mummy were preserved almost completely, the paper states. The kitten's foot pads and claws are preserved on the plantar surface of the front paw, and all claws, sharp and strongly curved, are preserved on the fingers. So this is like, look at this. This is the whole thing here. So you can see like skeletal, like a lot of it is like still intact, like fur and everything, which is really impressive. It is unclear how the cub died, the researchers said, adding that its features show it was well adapted to living in a cold climate. Finding of frozen mummified remains of mammals from the late Pleistocene period are very rare. For the first time in the history of paleontology, the appearance of an extinct mammal that has no analogs in the modern fauna have been studied. Let's see. Homotherium fabrini, also known as saber-toothed cats or tigers, are characterized by their enormous, deadly sharp canines that paleontologists believe are used to grab and hold onto prey or deliver a fatal ripping wound to the belly or throat of a prey animal. They are estimated to have gone extinct at the end of the Pleistocene period about 12,000 years ago, with fossils found all over Eurasia, Africa, and the Americas. But it says over the past 10 years, remains of various animals have been discovered in Russia's Indigikra River Basin, of which the Bajirika River is a tributary. Numerous bones of mammoths have been collected in the region, according to the paper. The newest finding of the Bajirika mummy radically expands the understanding of distribution of the genus and confirms its presence in the late Pleistocene of Asia. So yeah, that's freaking cool to actually see that, like fucking Encino Man, but you know, cat, Encino cat, like that's fucking wild to see. The DNA is too deteriorated to be cloned, and even if it wasn't, the species is too far removed for a surrogacy. That's why it says like see here, it has no analogs in the modern fauna, which means you can't take, if you could find like usable DNA here, you couldn't like splice it with like Luna's DNA and like bring it back to life. You know what I mean? Like the whole, like, you know, the whole Jurassic Park thing about like splicing, you know, extracting intact DNA and then using frog DNA to fill in the gaps. Like you can't do that here.
Aww.
So still though, it's freaking cool though.
Yeah. It's neat to see it. Can you imagine the fucking like diseases and shit that came out of that when they opened it?
We're gonna move
They
on to
thawed
China.
it out.
Yeah, imagine like how, like when you first see this, like in like the block of ice, you know what I mean? You're gonna be like,
What the fuck?
That's gonna be like a wild thing to like process as you're finding this thing. It's freaking cool. Let's go to China, the dystopian hellscape of China. Starting with the Chinese retail chain has swapped traditional mannequins for real women walking on treadmills wearing their clothes. They believe this helps customers see how the garments fit and move on a person. So instead of mannequins, they just hire women to just walk endlessly on a treadmill.
What?
And turn that off. Yeah. So these stores are just filled with Chinese women just walking endlessly on a treadmill.
What the fuck?
You think they get paid around the same as those Abercrombie and Fitch greeters do?
Is China cyberpunk?
Well, this is China, not Japan.
That's what I said. I said it's China cyberpunk.
Oh, I mean, maybe. So yeah, that's creepy. And in less creepy and more gruesome news, there's been a series of mass murders across China, actually.
Huh?
A driver rams his car into a crowd in China, killing 35 people. Police say he was upset about his divorce.
No.
What a piece of shit. The Zhuhai, China, a man who authorities said was upset over his divorce settlement, rammed his car into a crowd of people exercising at a sports complex in southern China, killing 35 and severely injuring dozens of others, police said Tuesday. Police detained the 62-year-old man who was being treated for wounds thought to be self-inflicted. So he did all this and then he offed himself. Shortly after the attack Monday night in Zhuhai, the city is hosting the People's Liberation Army's aviation exhibition, which opened Tuesday, and searches for what happened were heavily censored for users behind China's Great Firewall. Outside of the controls, however, videos circulated on the social media platform X. I've seen them, and I'm not going to obviously show the chat and put on YouTube a bunch of people dying by getting run over. You can find it on Twitter. I'm not going to look it up here for the stream, though. Outside of the controls, however, videos circulated on the social media platform X, and several dozens of people could be seen lying on the track at the sports complex, which is regularly used by hundreds of residents to run, play soccer, or dance. In one shared by news blogger and dissident Li Ying, so you can look up Li Ying if you'd like, a woman says, "My foot is broken." So it's not like the video of the actual event, it's just the injured people and, well, dead people, which is why I can't show it. If it was injured people, I could probably show it, but the fact that it's dead people, I can't show it. That same video showed a firefighter performing. Yeah, you gotta go to like Live Leak. I guarantee you can find it on Live Leak. Firefighter performing CPR on a person as others were told to leave. Lee, who was known as X as Teacher Lee, posts daily news based on user submissions. Yeah, I'm subscribed to him because he's actually a good source of crazy shit happening in China. In addition to the 35 people killed, police said 43 were injured. And
That's
this happened. Now, this happened literally days, just a few days after this happened. 8 killed and 17 injured in mass stabbing in eastern China. Both of these events happened in less than a week. 8 people were killed and 17 others injured in a stabbing attack on a college campus in eastern China on Saturday. I mean, what's the average kill count of an American school shooter? I feel like this is on par with that.
Probably is.
The latest in a recent spat of attacks that has shaken a nation long used to low rates of violent crime. The attack took place around 6:30 p.m. at the Wuxi Vocational Institute of Arts and Technology in the city of Yijing, Jiangsu province, according to a police statement. Video verified by CNN shows several people lying motionless on the ground, some of them surrounded. I haven't seen video of this, though. By onlookers, as screams are heard in the background. A suspect detained at the scene was a recent graduate who was motivated by, quote, failing an exam, not receiving a graduate certificate, and dissatisfaction with internship compensation. An investigation. Well, this ain't going to help you. You're not helping your case here by doing this, buddy. The attack is the latest mass casualty incident to hit China, a country of 1.4 billion that has one of the lowest rates of violent crime in the world. One of the reasons for that is because of the insane amount of surveillance that everyone is in China, like 24/7. It's fucking crazy the amount of surveillance they have because of how how they enforce the social credit system. It's fucking awful. So like everything that you do in China is being watched and judged by the government. So it has strict gun control and powerful mass surveillance. Yeah. Last Monday, 35 people were killed after a car plowed into people. Yeah, so you see, like, this happened. This is the story that I just covered, the car plowing. So yeah, it's just like, yeah. And then also in September, a bus crashed into a crowd of students and parents outside a school in Taiyuan City in Shandong Province, killing 11 people and injuring 13 others. Chinese authorities did not reveal whether the incident was accidental or deliberate. There was another knife attack in Shanghai where 3 people were killed and 15 others were injured. And then police in October arrested a 50-year-old man after a stabbing attack near an elementary school in Beijing, injured 5 people, including 3 children. So, yeah, China's had like a string of like an unusual string of violent crimes and like mass casualty events lately, which is kind of wild to see. Okay. Let me see here. Okay, and then next is we're gonna go to Korea. What do you think I'm gonna talk about in Korea?
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
Johnny Somali.
Exactly. There you go.
That's exactly what we're gonna talk about.
Oh, yeah. I mean, how could I not talk about Johnny Somali, who is, I think at this point, potentially on the hook for 30 years in prison. Okay, so this Dexerto has actually been doing a good job of covering the Johnny Somali situation. So Johnny Somali is accused of violating anti-terrorism laws after South Korean bomb scare. This was done on November 19th is when this was published. Controversial streamer Johnny Somali could be facing terrorism charges as the creator is already banned from leaving South Korea. Yeah, that little fake passport, that little backup passport thing that he had didn't really work. Ever since arriving in South Korea, Johnny Somali, real name Ramzi Khalid Ismail, has caused chaos and incurred the country's wrath for disrespecting its culture. So far, Somali has only been charged with obstruction of business for wreaking havoc inside a 7-Eleven. So that's the video that you saw where he was like flinging noodles on the floor and at people and shit like that. But he has a laundry list of other alleged offenses that are also being investigated. His latest alleged crime was revealed by YouTuber lawyer Legal Mindset, one of the few good like YouTube lawyers, by the way, who's been following Somali's streams closely, and it could land the creator in extremely hot water. Johnny Somali violating both the Railway Act and anti-terrorism laws in this deleted video that has now been exposed. In a deleted video, Somali was on the Seoul Metro while his stream's text-to-speech kept repeating, "I have a bomb." So people were like TTSing. His chat was TTSing shit, and he had that shit on speakerphone, and they were saying all kinds of like illegal shit, like "I have a bomb," while walking through the train. The Daigetsunika, that's "I have a bomb, I have a bomb, I have a bomb." Anyway, you get the point. It goes on for almost a minute. "I'm sorry," Somali told passengers. "There are kids right here, bro." Well, turn the TTS off, you dick. It's possible that this prank was thanks to his viewers who donated to have their comments. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like that's what VTubers and shit do. Speaking with Dexerto, Legal Mindset explained that stating that he has a bomb is both a public disturbance and anti-terrorism accordingly. Under South Korea's anti-terrorism laws, incitement to violence, particularly if it involves racial hatred or threats against public safety, can be considered a terrorist act and carries a max penalty of 7 years in jail. There was also this where like this girl is like a statue of like great remembrance of like trying to off the top of my head.
Yeah, girls that were basically raped by the Japanese.
Japanese, yeah, exactly. And see, he's over here sexually assaulting the statue. That's like a memorial to that. Broadcasting explicit content on a subway is considered a public disturbance and violates the Railroad Safety Act, which could result in a maximum of 2 years imprisonment or a fine of up to 20 million Korean won, approximately $15,000. If authorities determine that Johnny's statements pose a legitimate threat to public safety or were made with the intent to incite public violence, he could face additional penalties, including an asset seizure and restrictions on communication. A few moments after leaving the train, Somali received another donation at the North Korean and the North Korean anthem began playing. So Israel could already be facing legal challenges for spreading North Korean propaganda in the country, and the subway incident is another example of this divisive behavior. This isn't the first time that Somali's TTS has gotten him into trouble. As ex-user Cancel Johnny's pointed out, in Japan, the streamer played bomb threats and other remarks against the Japanese Prime Minister. These potential terrorism charges are just the latest in a long list of alleged crimes being investigated by the South Korean authorities. As Sixers are reported, South Korean police have launched an investigation into Somali's alleged drug use, a crime that comes with a maximum penalty of 10 years in jail. Somali could also be facing 7 additional years in prison for using deepfake AI to depict himself kissing Korean streamer Bong Bong. While Somali is confident that he won't face jail time and will be able to return to the United States, all that might change once he makes his first in what could be many court appearances. Oh, you don't know about this one?
No.
This thing. So he did a deep fake of an AI Korean girlfriend. So it says, so this is the deep fake here, right here. Deepfake AI logo in the bottom right hand corner of this laptop as he showed the video to his stream and bragged about having a Korean girlfriend. And it was based off of this Korean IRL streamer Bong Bong to make the deepfake, basically. So yeah, he deleted that one too, but you know, the internet is forever. So yeah, he's just racking up. Now remember though, he is, he's only charged so far with the disruption of a business thing, the whole noodle throwing thing. All this other stuff is only merely like under investigation. He hasn't been charged with any of this other stuff yet. So we'll see. But Korea isn't to be fucked around. Because in similar news, Korean YouTuber who killed rival on stream claps and thanks judge for life sentence.
What the fuck?
A Korean YouTuber who stabbed his rival on stream bowed and clapped when a judge handed him a life sentence. On May 9th, YouTuber Jodel TV, surnamed Cho, was attending a court hearing in Busan and was live streaming when his rival approached him from behind and started stabbing him. Cho was found in a state of cardiac arrest and was taken to a hospital where he was pronounced dead, while his YouTube rival was apprehended by police 2 hours later. Before his capture, the accused went live on his own YouTube channel to issue an apology to his subscribers who had supported him and explained like why he had attacked Jodel TV. I couldn't possibly forgive someone who tried to destroy other people's happiness. I won't make excuses. I will take responsibility for my actions. The two had been involved in a series of lawsuits against each other for alleged assaults and insults over the years. According to Korean Jungong Daily, the 56-year-old, surnamed Hong, stood up and bowed, thanking the judge for the verdict. He left the courtroom clapping after being found guilty and sentenced to life for the retaliatory murder. The defendant located the victim while watching his stream, and it took only 17 seconds to kill him. Hong planned his crime by purchasing a 30-centimeter long sashimi knife. You know what sashimi is? It's like sliced fish.
Yeah.
Before the murder...
That's a big, very sharp knife.
It's a very sharp knife, yeah. And borrowing a rental car for his post-crime flight. If Hong is ever released, he will be required to wear an electronic tracking device for 10 years. Hong may not be the only content creator heading to court in Korea for his actions. And then we get into the Johnny Somali stuff, who's got a laundry list of charges.
He stabbed in a courtroom? He like went to the courtroom to stab the guy?
No, not the courtroom. No. His rival was live streaming, and he found out where he lived, and he broke into his house and killed him live on camera. Like during the live stream. So this where is it? Hong? Is it Hong?
No, go up. The guy was attending a court hearing.
Was live streaming. Attending a court hearing in Busan and was live streaming when his rival approached him from behind and started stabbing him. Oh yeah, was it in the courtroom? That's what it sounds like. You're right.
That's right. Yeah.
How was he able to live stream it from a courtroom like that? Like, they don't allow that kind of shit. That's kind of wild.
I don't fucking know, man. That's insane, though. Why? Why do you do it?
Streaming? Oh, he was streaming outside of the courthouse.
Oh.
So he was outside the courthouse, and he was live streaming like outdoors. And then
this other YouTuber just went and like stabbed him to death.
Yeah, he just went up to him on the street and just stabbed him.
And then just took the life sentence. Why? I don't understand.
Because he had a beef, man. He had a beef to settle. But all the point is, it's like, I don't think Koreans are the people to fuck with. Johnny.
That's so fucking insane.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
What kind of beef? Like, what the hell? Like, is YouTubing like rapping now?
We have to remember that like streaming culture, like especially like gaming like culture is like taken way more serious in Korea, you know. So I have but like yeah, they had been like feuding for like they had lawsuits against each other. They had all these different spats and feuds against each other for like 3 years before this one of them just
Still, like, how
Yeah.
fucking like mentally fucking ill do you have to be that like you send yourself to life in prison, take someone's fucking life over some shit on the fucking internet?
He didn't
Pathetic.
take his own life. Well, I guess he gave up like he
No, he
was
took
happy for
someone's life
yeah. So yeah.
and gave himself life in prison, effectively.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I think Johnny might have finally like fucked with the wrong group of people. That being the Koreans. Because remember like while he was up to the shenanigans, like there was that UFC like professional fighter streamer Korean who like tracked him down and like found him in the street. But like the cops were there. The cops were there though, so like they stopped the confrontation, like a physical confrontation. And like the UFC guy had like no like qualms about it. He was like, as he was being arrested and taken away, he was like, "I'll see you later, Johnny." You know what I mean? Like these Koreans aren't to be fucked with, man. Rosa, did you forget that Boogie had a federal charge over a YouTube spat? That's true, he did. Yeah, the internet's a wild place. Be careful with who you fuck with. Okay, last story from around the world, which is a much lighthearted story. Dragon Ball is getting a McDonald's meal, but it's not easy to get. So McDonald's is collabing with the Dragon Ball Daima franchise to create a line of anime-inspired meals, but they won't be easy to get. On November 13th, McDonald's Hong Kong announced this special anime collab on Instagram and Facebook with a promotional video featuring Kid Goku. Clip shows brand new combo meals, including fries, a shake, crispy katsu-style cutlet sandwich, and fried dough balls. The highlight of the McDonald's X Dragon Ball Daima collaboration is the chicken katsu burger, available as part of a value meal with fries and a drink for about $5, discounted from the regular price of $6. Adding a touch of nostalgia, the crispy purple sweet potato balls resemble the 7 magical Dragon Balls, are priced at just $1. Man, shit's cheap in Hong Kong. What the fuck? This meal would be like $14, $15 in America. It's like nothing here. It's like $6 here in Hong Kong. God damn. Fans will also enjoy spotting familiar characters, as Goku isn't the only one featured. Piccolo and Bulma make appearances on the packaging. Now, this does remind me of the failed Krabby Patty collab that Wendy's did a couple months ago. Remember that? And it wasn't very good. And
it made me sick.
Most people were pretty disappointed in it. So, but that's the thing. It's like that was an American deal. I feel like Asia in general takes things more seriously like this. So, I would hope that this was better than that. But who knows? It's all moot because it's only in Hong Kong, so neither of us are gonna be able to try it.
Yeah,
I would like to. I'd like to see what it's like. I want to know what these dough balls are like. I bet they're good. So
they probably are.
But yeah. I don't really have any commentary on this. It's just a dumb little Dragon Ball collab. Oh man. Okay. Are we ready to get into the pop culture news? All right. Let me switch out some stuff here. Ooh. None of that. I need to actually bring up the menu. There we go. Bear with me, chat. I still suck at this. And then I gotta share it with you. There. There it is. Now you should be able to see it. And last but not least.
Yippee!
All right, I think we're all set. All right, first one is the big one that really kind of came out of absolutely nowhere, which is From Software's parent company, Katakawa, confirms Sony's buyout intent, but insists no decision has been made at this time. So Katakawa Corporation has confirmed it has received a buyout offer from Sony, but insists it has yet to make a decision on whether to sell up. Earlier this week, Reuters reported that Sony was in talks to buy Katakawa, whose subsidiary From Software is behind smash hit Elden Ring. Well, we're all gamers. We all know what fucking From Software is, responsible for. Katakawa has now confirmed the report with a note from CEO Takeshi Natsuno, issued after shares of the company skyrocketed on the news. There are some articles on the acquisition of Katakawa Corporation, hereinafter the company, by Sony Group Incorporated.
Nuggies.
Huh?
I'm happy. My wife gave me the Dino Nuggies. I love her.
However, this information is not announced by the company. The company has received an initial letter of intent to acquire the company's shares, but no decision has been made at this time. If there are any facts that should be announced in the future, we will make an announcement in a timely and appropriate manner. Sony has declined to comment. Katakawa's businesses extends into... Yeah, so this is the... I had no idea, but Katakawa is a massive umbrella company. They have business that extends into Sony's broader entertainment offering, which includes anime, manga, TV, and film. Katakawa is a prolific publisher of anime, and Sony already owns anime streamers Crunchyroll and Funimation, which is terrifying in and of itself, as you ask me. As well as From Software, Katakawa owns Danganronpa, the developer Spike Chunsoft, Octopath Traveler developer Acquire, and RPG maker and pixel game maker developer Gacha Games. I think it's like when they say, it says right here, Katakawa is the majority owner of From Software with around 70% of the company. Sony already owns around 14% of the developer, with Tencent owning around 16%. And that's interesting. The whole Tencent angle on this is interesting. Pierce Harding Rolls, research director at Ampere Analysis, told IGN that news of a potential deal isn't that surprising. Sony's interest in Katakawa's games publisher From Software was made more concrete in 2022 when it acquired a roughly 14% share of the company following up on its longtime collaboration with the company. At the time, Sony mentioned a broader interest in cross-media development of anime and games IP to support its other media businesses. And I think this has to do with the whole culture of basically like Japan pumps out like a fuck ton of manga, right? And the successful ones typically get turned into an anime, right? And then of those successful animes, the successful ones of those, it's common for those to get turned into games. Like this is literally what happened to like Fairy Tail, for example.
Yeah.
One Piece, the same path. Manga, anime,
Naruto, Dragon Ball.
And Dragon Ball. Yeah, it's like this is like a normal pipeline where you go manga, anime, sometimes movies, and then into video games. And so it's almost like Sony is trying to like own the entire vertical of that pipeline. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like they're doing. Let's see. Yeah, so in that sense, any deal for the parent company Katakawa, which also operates extensively in manga and anime, is a natural extension of this earlier deal. These other areas align nicely with Sony's anime businesses. This is the thing. Like from a business point of view, this does make sense. It's a very I hate to use this word, but like synergetic, like to basically just gobble up like a fuck ton of all these manga IPs that can then be turned into animes that can then be turned into video games. Like from a business perspective, it's a smart move. It's a really smart move. But like from a consumer perspective, it seems very monopolistic to me. because it already said like
Yeah.
they already own Crunchyroll and Funimation, which is like basically the two distributors of all anime outside of Japan, pretty much. Is through those two groups. So it's like, you know, like how much are we gonna just gonna allow Sony to just own all anime distribution across the world? Like that doesn't sound like a good idea to me. So, and it's like, I don't know, because you know Japan or Sony Japan is not the same entity as Sony America. I mean, yeah, they're under the same umbrella, but
Yeah, they're very different.
you know, if this is Sony Japan doing this, then I don't necessarily think that it's a massive like threat that they Californicate all of these anime and manga IPs. You know what I mean? Oh, thanks for the subscription, John Trump. Welcome aboard. Hello.
Hi, hi, Mr. President.
Congratulations on your victory, sir. So, and the whole From Software thing, like, I just don't know. My thing is just like, how much about From Software do you, because it sounds like their key target for this isn't actually the video games and From Software. It sounds like their primary target is the manga and anime side of it. Which again makes sense from a business point of view. So I'm just like curious about like how impactful an acquisition like this would be on From Software and its development, and how much it would westernize it. I mean, the threat is definitely introduced, obviously. But how big is it? I don't know, because the other thing is, it's like, you know, the American side is obsessed with IP farming. You know what I mean? So it's like, are they going to start like telling From Software, it's like, hey, you got to release games like every year, which is going to guarantee you a drop in quality. You know what I mean? Which is going to be a fucking disaster. So that's a threat. But silver lining, under that strategy, you'd probably get Bloodborne too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it would be bad and I'd hate it.
But yeah, exactly. That's the problem. It's like, well, we would probably get Bloodborne 2, but Bloodborne 2 would probably be shit. So yeah, I am. This makes me very nervous. Like from a business point of view, I don't like the monopolization of everything. Consumer point of view, if you're gonna take all of this IP and it gets turned into like the American business model of just pushing shit through a sludge pipe of content, then you're just gonna see a massive degradation of a huge swath of IPs that's currently under Katakawa's umbrella, which is devastating. It's devastating to consumers globally, and it's especially devastating to the Japanese output and culture, because they're getting, you know. And partly a lot of it they're doing it themselves. Like, you know, all these Japanese companies that are embracing like DEI shit. You know what I mean? It's just like, you see where this goes. You already know the endpoint of this, and yet here you are doing the same shit, following the same road. You know, it's like at this point, like, you know, you deserve whatever hardship comes your way. You know, looking at you, Square Enix, who just had a recent, you know, massive, you know, loss and stuff like that. Now, granted, Square Enix, the primary reason that they lost money is because they aren't releasing their games on Steam day one. Like, I guarantee you that Final Fantasy VII, the third part of the trilogy, is going to be on Steam day one. Because they already said that, like, they can't basically do these timed console exclusive things with these massive Final Fantasy games. Because the market share just isn't big enough to support the budgets of these games. So they have to go multi-platform, like, right out of the gate. Man, would it be really... It'd be really fucking weird to see, like, Final Fantasy on an Xbox. That'd be fucking weird. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're just going to go to Steam. They're just going to Steam it. Which, you know, Gabe Newell wins again by doing nothing.
Yep. Go, Gabe.
So for Sony, its gaming business has already suffered significant layoffs this year, and the closure of multiple studios, including Concord developer Firewalk. In February, it announced a round of layoffs affecting 900 staff, or about 8% of its global PlayStation workforce. The layoffs impacted a number of PlayStation studios, including Insomniac, Naughty Dog, Guerrilla, and Firesprite. But PlayStation's London studio was hit hardest with a notice of closure. Yeah, the whole studio was... Remember, this is the one where the CEO was, like, palling up and taking, like, smile smiling, happy photos with all the staff in the London office, and then he went
They
back.
fired them.
Yeah, he went back home to America and laid them all off the next day. It's like, wow, the balls, the hubris to do such a thing. And then you have like obviously Bungie, which was, man, can you imagine if they waited and just let Bungie do all this shit to themselves and then they bought it now? Because how much did they buy Bungie for?
I don't even know.
How much, chat? Does anybody in chat know how much Sony bought Bungie for? Because I'll bet you that if they bought it now, they could get it for a fraction of that price. Now, an interesting development about this story. Everybody thinks that Sony approached Katakawa. I'm going to skip the wiki article. Is that FromSoft owner Katakawa may have actually approached Sony themselves to block a hostile takeover from Kakao. Which is...
Oh.
Yeah, so now this is just a rumor. But the rumor is that Sony didn't come to them. The rumor is that they were under threat of a hostile takeover, and they actually asked Sony for an exclusive proposal to buy them out so that they can avoid takeover. So the story's getting kind of juicy here. So as we reported yesterday, Katakawa officially confirmed that Sony made them an offer. So that's the thing, Sony made them an offer, but they have yet to make a decision. As shared on the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit by user 4000KD Shinobi 602, theorizes that this may have something to do with another current Katakawa shareholder, Kakao. You know what this actually suspiciously reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of the whole Tencent buyout of Ubisoft to stave off takeover from Vivendi. Remember that whole story?
Yep.
This sounds a lot like that story. So Kakao, Katakawa, and Sony are all giant conglomerates with their hands deep in different businesses. Unlike Katakawa and Sony, Kakao is from South Korea, and their core business is Kakao Talk, a messaging app that is #1 in revenue for both iOS and Android in their home country. So it always baffles me that like there's all these like country-specific apps that are like the #1 apps in their respective countries that like we've never heard of in America.
Yeah, I thought it's pretty cool.
Kakao's scope of businesses
Oh,
includes...
wait, if you can't look at the I'm gonna get the check.
Oh. 3.6 billion in 2022. I bet they can get it for less than 2 billion. If they made an offer for Bungie today in their current state, they could probably get it for less than 2 billion, I'll bet. Or around 2 billion, I would guess. Wait, are you here, Rosa? Did you go somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay. So now this is interesting. Kakao's scope of businesses has an interesting portfolio. It says it includes online banking, transportation, e-commerce, and of course entertainment. And Kakao Entertainment makes movies and shows, and yes, they produce K-pop. They also own the original webtoon online comic book platform. Kakao does not...
Wow.
Yeah, so that's an interesting swath.
That's one.
Yeah. And the fact that they got their hands inside of K-pop too is huge. But Kakao does not have a good reputation in spite of its financial success. We're talking about a company whose founder was embroiled in a gambling scandal from when it launched. This year, Kakao is embroiled in a stock manipulation scandal over their successful hostile takeover of K-pop and entertainment company SM Entertainment. So this is a ruthless corner-cutting kind of business, sounds like. So 4000 KD speculation is very much well-grounded. 4000 KD shared evidence that Kakao has been slowly buying shares in their Japanese target, Katakawa, since 2020. Notably, last 2021, Kakao already managed to bulk up to become Katakawa's largest shareholder. So they were like trying to become a bigger shareholder than like Tencent. Typically, the two parties agreed to a share price for a deal. True. Sony's not going to end up paying whatever Katakawa valuations rises to. What I meant was, now if Kakao wanted to do a takeover, they'd have to cough up even more cash. So leaking it intentionally could make sense. If you feel like you've been reading one too many stories about hostile takeovers in video games, you aren't imagining things. Oh, here we go. Reporting on a different situation with Ubisoft, but one that could have led to Guillemot family being bought out by Tencent. But here we will share our own insight into this Sony Katakawa situation and something that you may not have wanted to read. Japan recently passed a new law that enables and no longer blocks hostile takeovers of Japanese companies. So they passed a law that basically makes it so hostile takeovers of Japanese companies are back on the table, boys. The law lays out guidelines for their satisfaction, but because of these new rules, Japanese companies like 7-Eleven owner 7 and I Holdings are now vulnerable to being taken over by foreign owners. Yes, that means beloved Japanese game companies like Nintendo, Sega, and Square Enix are now all vulnerable to hostile takeovers too, if someone had enough hubris and money to try. Elon. So it makes sense that Katakawa would be desperate enough to pitch a monopoly with Sony to avoid a hostile takeover. Based on what Shinobi said, it's possible that Katakawa doesn't really want to push through with a Sony deal. Their move to disclose may be part of the company's succession-like chess moves to hopefully get out of this with their independence and investments from both Sony and Kakao intact. So it sounds like Game of the Year maker From Software is being bounced around like a tennis ball in all this news. That might actually be the case. As terrifying as the prospect of a Sony Entertainment monopoly is, gamers and fans should also be wary of a company as shady as Kakao taking over Katakawa as well. Yeah. So it's getting kind of juicy, you know, what's going on here, you know, in terms of motivations and stuff like that. And it would also make sense, like, because you also saw, I think we read in the previous article that once the announcement was made that Sony had made an offer, that the stock price of Katakawa shot up. And it's like, that's a good way to kill a potential buyout. Is by basically shooting up the stock price so it makes it too expensive to buy out. So you could see, you could kind of start seeing different you know, C-suite 4D chess going on. You know, and how these companies are, you know, dealing with each other, and stuff like that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Honestly, either of these outcomes is bad. Like, the best outcome is Katakawa remains independent. But I am not optimistic about that one. I'm really not. I am unfortunately of the feeling that Katakawa is going to take the Sony deal, which is not good. I mean, it's better than Kakao probably, but it's still not good. I'm actually curious about how Japanese antitrust laws can potentially play into this deal because of the whole monopolistic nature of it. So I'll keep an eye on it. I'm sure everybody else, you know, that kind of do commentary on stuff like this will keep an eye on it. But yeah, I'm unfortunately not optimistic about this one. If the Pal World lawsuit goes through, I think we all deserve some ownership in Nintendo. Yeah, totally. Man, that one terrifies me too. That's another bad one. I covered that last week with Asta. I think we talked about it. Just how Pal World basically has, like, they've been off the demand from Nintendo is like these really small sums of money as a settlement, or in damages, not as a settlement, but just in damages. But they also want an injunction. Injunction meaning shut the game down. And then the small sum of money is basically they don't want the money, they want the precedent. If that makes sense, they basically want it like ingrained into case history that this is a legitimate avenue to go after business. You know, businesses through patent laws. And if you're Pal World, you know, it really depends, because obviously they can pay that paltry sum and then shut the game down. Or you know, fingers crossed, as they see what's going on here and they stand up on principle and they spend the money and fight that lawsuit, because they actually have a really good case in court to win that case against Nintendo. Mainly because, like, there's one big aspect. Well, first of all, the patent was filed retroactively. So Pal World released, and then they went back and filed the patent and got it. But the problem is that patent never should have been given because of a thing called novelty. So like one of the qualifying things to be able to get a patent is that it has to be like a new and unique thing. If it's already out there and considered, novel, then it doesn't qualify for a patent. And here's the thing: it's like the lawsuit, like the whole mechanic of like throwing the ball or an object in 3D space to capture and release creatures to fight on the owner's behalf, that kind of thing. That they're basing that lawsuit off of Arceus, Pokemon Arceus, right? Because Arceus came along, has that mechanic, and then Pal World come along, has the same mechanic, right? But here's the problem. Did you know that the developers of Pal World came out with a game before they came out with Pal World?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Craftopia. And guess what Craftopia has in it as a mechanic?
What? The balls?
It has the capture mechanic. Which means that it was already out there. It was already out there before Arceus released. So it could the fact that it was no longer a novel thing means that patent should have never been granted to Nintendo. But the problem with that is that that's a whole separate argument. See, to get that patent removed, Pal World would have to sue like a combination of the Pokemon Company and Nintendo and the patent office, and go through their own, a whole separate lawsuit that they would have to fund, and just try to get that patent removed. So Pal World is unfortunately fighting an uphill battle here, and that's a really bad situation that I'm honestly pessimistic about that too. I don't like it, but I think that Pal World's going to fold under the pressure, which fucking sucks.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't blame them for doing it, but it's really, 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 really bad precedent, and it's an awful practice. So, all right, what do we got here? Unknown 9 layoffs are official.
As expected.
Yeah, and totally not surprising news. The massive failure of Unknown 9. You have to remember that Unknown 9 actually had bigger multimedia plans than Concord did. Like, Concord didn't have any plans beyond the game. Like, they had like their amazing storytelling innovation, which was like a new 1-minute cutscene every week. They had
the video.
Well, they had the show. They had the short on Secret Levels on Amazon, but that was it. As far as we know, that was the only other project. This Unknown 9, this was supposed to, let me see if it's in here. I think it's in here. This is just a bunch of LinkedIn profiles saying that they're out of work.
No.
Steam charts 20 all-time peak last month, less than 300 people. It doesn't have it in here, but it shows there's a graphic out there that shows what their multimedia plans for this thing. We're talking not just a video game, but we're talking shows, a podcast, novels, comic books, at least a couple other things that I'm forgetting. They were gonna blitz a massive horizontal slice across the media landscape with this IP, and it just completely faltered out of the gate.
Yeah,
and they've now
nothing happened.
Yeah, and they just laid everybody off. So this just goes through everyone just saying, "Hey, I'm open to work." Yeah, it's kind of hilarious to see. It's also sad too. I'm at the point now where I've seen so many of these failures that I'm kind of past the Schadenfreude of it all, and it just kind of makes me sad now. I don't really get. Yeah, I kind of chuckle for 10 seconds when I read this, but after that, I'm just I don't want this to be happening. You know what I mean? I want good games to be made and for studios to thrive in the wake of those good games. I don't want all these massive failures and layoffs and shutdowns to happen. I don't. Yeah. I don't want that to happen.
It's make good fucking games. They're worth fucking actually buying.
Yeah, exactly. And it's I find myself, I don't get Schadenfreude out of this anymore. I get sad and frustrated at it.
Yeah.
that's just where I'm at now. Like, can we please get our shit together, please? Like, can we please stop this, whatever fuck that, bad end trajectory that we're on, and turn the ship around? I don't know, man. I feel like the collapse kind of has to happen for change to happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, sometimes it's fucking like let it do its thing. Like when it's fucking course, then you can start to like alter things. Because the thing is, right now, like,
Yeah, I'm just
it's too cozy.
Yeah, it just. Yeah, I don't. I'm not happy about this, chat. I'm really not. I'm not happy about it because, like, I think the game is good. The game is shit. I'm not happy about it because, like, I'm just frustrated at the ineptitude of the current Western AAA environment. It's just because it doesn't have to be this way. You know what I mean? And there's an alternate.
There's to be as shit as it is.
There's an alternate timeline out there somewhere where like all these games are like fucking awesome and they work and they're not broken and buggy and they have actual great characters and stuff like that. Like I was actually thinking about that, like with Arcane. I was thinking about like how Arcane, like it has like it front and center features like a lesbian couple. You know what I mean? And it's like, but like these characters are so damn good that like you're rooting for the lesbians, like 100%. Like you know what I mean? It's just like, man, can you imagine like what if all those dates, like 10, 12, whatever years ago when this DEI push started, what if we got like all of these gay characters, all these trans characters, and they were like of the quality of characters that like the characters in Arcane are, and that was like a normal thing up until this point. Can you imagine what the discourse would be like around representation and DEI and all that other kind of shit would be right now? It would be so alien to where we are right now. You know what I mean? And it's just like,
I'm sorry. I just almost like fell in my chair.
You okay?
I'm very tired.
No,
I think I need to call it soon. I literally almost fell forward off my chair.
Okay. Okay, we'll do two more quick ones, okay?
Okay.
We got Minecraft
I'm
theme
sorry,
parks.
I started late. We're also cutting it short. I feel bad, but
You're fine. Minecraft theme parks are coming. So they're coming from Merlin Entertainment, the company behind Legoland. They're coming to the US and the UK. They're going to be built in existing Merlin locations in 2026 or 2027, with further locations across the globe coming later. It's unclear which locations will see the Minecraft attractions built as of yet, but Merlin did say that it will be investing in excess of $85 million in the first two. That's not a lot. That's not a lot of money. These aren't going to be huge, major parks. They're not going to be like the Epic Universe that we talked about a few weeks ago. But they want to bring the Minecraft adventure to life. This will include the development of first-of-its-kind concepts for Minecraft-themed guest accommodations, retail, and food and beverage, alongside exciting experiences, including a Minecraft-themed ride at Merlin locations in these two countries. They're getting developed in, with Mojang to ensure authenticity. Locations will include touch points for fans to interact with and unlock content in the game itself. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Okay.
That's kind of cool. Like actual interaction with the game itself. That's a cool idea. A rendering of what the Minecraft theme park will look like can be seen above. Yeah, that's why it's in my thumbnail. So yeah, we got Minecraft theme parks are coming to America somewhere in like 5 years.
That's actually cool.
Or not 5 years, like 3 years.
Hopefully it'll be close.
And the last, I mean, I'll go. I mean, I went to Legoland. I didn't think it was the greatest park, but it's like it's worth going once just to see what it's like,
just like look at it. It is pretty cool to look at.
Yeah. It looks better than the movie.
All
right, last item, which is somehow Elon Musk is technically the best Diablo 4 player in the world now.
Hey, what?
I swear to God, this dude's brain is like, it's like a quad-core computer. It's like multi-threaded. I don't know how in the fuck this dude finds the time to do all the shit that he does. Like, how does he manage to be like the CEO of all these like high profile companies? Get involved with like a major new government department of efficiency, and become the greatest Diablo 4 player in the world? Like, how does he do this?
What the fuck?
I don't understand how he has the time to do all this shit. So he has become the #1 Diablo 4 player in the world after clearing a level 150 pit in under 2 minutes. Elon Musk has a pretty long resume, with him being the CEO of multiple companies and now the co-commissioner of something called the Department of Government Efficiency. He's about to add another feather to his cap. Musk's status as a Diablo 4 superfan is well known, with the irascible billionaire beating challenges some thought impossible in the game. He even surprised Joe Rogan with his official international ranking of 19 in the world. In an insane leap, Elon Musk looks to have become the #1 Diablo 4 player in the world. It's up in the air at the moment, but if his sub 2-minute run in the Artificer's Pit is accepted on the rankings, he'll have eked out the top spot by a whopping 7 seconds.
Holy shit!
At present, the top slot is held by a player from the US known as Resistance with a clear time of 1:59. Musk's latest pit run posted to X saw him clear the challenge in a staggering 1:52. And while the leaderboards haven't changed yet, if Musk's run is accepted, he'll be the #1 ranked Diablo 4 player in the world by a considerable margin. It's just mind-blowing to me how he's able to do all this shit. This dude is like an actual superhuman.
It's fucking crazy.
Here's the run, by the way. He posted it. It's only, like I said, it's under 2 minutes long. I have no idea what's going on here, but this is him.
He's fucking yelling.
This is him setting the world record and becoming the #1 Diablo player in the world. It's like, what the fuck? It's just so wild to me. It's so surreal. So I guess it's just like a giant mob of enemies that you have to kill, and it's like whoever kills them the fastest is the best. I guess that's what these pits are, I'm guessing. So,
I see.
But
Okay.
yeah, Elon Musk is the best Diablo 4 player now. So that's a thing.
That's like super fucking cool.
That's really cool. The last thing was about Gabe Newell. Steam outlines major changes to its season pass and DLC rules. So Gabe Newell,
Okay.
So what he's basically doing is he's basically saying that if you promise something and you don't deliver on it in terms of like DLC and that kind of shit, he's going to then Steam is going to refund the game.
Cool.
So it says, by offering a season pass, you are promising future content. In the process of launching a season pass, you will be asked to commit to a launch time for each content release in the season pass. That launch timing is a commitment to both customer and Steam. If you aren't ready to clearly communicate about the content included in each DLC and when each DLC will be ready for launch, you shouldn't offer a season pass on Steam.
Based.
Additionally, Valve is now restricting season passes to partners with which we have a well-established relationship and that have a proven track record on Steam. So he's basically going after like vaporware and shit like that. Vaporware and just shit devs who are like, because right now like the early access system is kind of getting abused. Like they're basically like getting money by promising shit and instead of delivering it. And then they get all this money in early access and then they release the game and it's shit. And they kind of take the money and run. Yeah. So this is like a counter to that. Like you have to keep your promises. It's basically what this rule is saying. These rules are meant to give players a better idea of what they're purchasing, as well as a means to get refunds if publishers don't follow Valve's new guidelines. But Steam's issues aren't confined to those problems. The U.S. Senator, oh yeah, that's talking about the anti-Semitism shit. But yeah, so Steam, Gabe Newell wins again because this guy just sits on the beach and just can't stop winning. So
Fucking epic.
Epic, dude. Absolutely epic. All right. Well, I know that was like a little bit of a rushed ending, but you need to get to bed.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like legitimately like I'm trying to rock myself in the chair so that I don't like conk out. But I I've been trying to stay awake. Like I'm sitting at a desk with like the light like on. Going through like night lamp. Try to like not night lamp, the fucking like reading lamp like on to try to like get myself stay awake. I I was kind of holding out as I thought I was, and then I suddenly woke up to me sliding off the chair, like face forward into the fucking desk.
But you know what's amazing is we got through this whole episode in 2.5 hours.
Yeah, good shit.
Which is actually
Was that everything?
that's actually a good thing that we got done so quick.
Was that everything?
Yeah, that's everything.
I did it! Yippee! I didn't think I wasted the whole thing.
I think I skipped 2 stories total. Just because I just don't feel like talking about them, to be honest. But anyway, before you go, if you're capable, when is what's your next thing? Is your next thing the OCP?
Yeah, it's gonna be OCP on Wednesday.
Okay.
I don't think I'm gonna be back to like regular streaming this next week. Because like, okay, for some context, I just brought the rest of my stuff. It's still in the car. It's fucking, but like it's Baithless car, which is fucking massive, and it's packed to the fucking brim.
And it's why you're
like
PNG right now.
It's hard to take things out because things were like placed and like interwoven and shit.
Mm-hmm.
My desk, we were able to bring it. Yippee! Deskun lives. We have it. We brought it. We brought a bunch of cat we brought like some of the cat stuff like for Luna, like a full like cat tree. We bought a boxed cat tree that we need to build. We brought the fucking litter robot. We brought a like water dispenser, like almost like big standing water dispensers, like an old one. It's like, you know, I don't feel like the new one is fucking expensive. Like my family's getting water from the fridge right now.
Yeah, like a water
so
cooler.
we're just gonna use. No, it's one of those like standing towers. You put like a big bottle on it, like a big like refillable like 5-gallon bottle of water.
Yeah, it's a water cooler.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, that's what it's called. It's kind of a misnomer, but that's what it is. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so that. We brought that. We brought like my old like family one. The family's currently not using it. They're drinking water from the like filtered. They got like a really nice fancy fridge. So they're not really drinking from it. And the water here is slimy. It's soft water.
That's nice.
I need to ask them where the softener is so I can turn it off and have hard water. I don't like soft water. It feels slimy.
That makes sense that Miami has harder water because it's right there on the ocean.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like the soft water. It's like, it feels slimy.
Yeah, I'm the same way, actually. I actually like my water to be a little bit hard.
Yeah.
I prefer it that way.
But yeah, we need to see if we can get rid of the Oh, also, sometime this week, I'm going to set up a PO box. So that's going to be cool.
Ooh, there you go.
Yep. But I'm expecting to come back to streaming on December 1st. That'll be like my big like welcome back stream.
Which is a Sunday.
I'll yap to that. Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. We're gonna watch Lord of the Rings that night. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll probably be like the morning. So.
Yeah, if you're gonna be streaming all day doing chatting shit, then yeah, you'll be able to watch. But yeah, other than that, for me, I scheduled the Lord of the Rings watch-alongs for the first 3 Sundays of December. Tomorrow, it's starting tomorrow. I think it might actually be starting tomorrow. Yeah, I think it is. I'll have to check. But yeah, other than that, I'm trying to think. I think I'm just back to regular schedule. I think I'm gonna stream on Friday, like Friday after Thanksgiving. I think I'm gonna do a Red Dead Redemption stream on that day.
Okay.
But other than that, I think that's all I got besides the watch-alongs. So cool. All right. Well, with that, we're gonna get out of here, chat. Thanks for coming along. I know this was a short one, but we got through it all. We got through just about all of it pretty quick, which is nice. I always wanted to get this stream shortened up a bit. So we have proven that we can do it. Now we just gotta get better at it.
You can get.
So, all right. Well, I'm gonna let you get out of here, Rosa. So you can go to bed.
I'm gonna disappear. I'll let you wrap up.
I'll see
Good
ya.
night, everyone.
Then yeah, I'm gonna head out too. So like I said, we got Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday we got the return of Assassin's Creed. I think though that in December, whenever I think the Great Circle, the Indiana Jones games, drops in early December. I'm gonna swap in that for Assassin's Creed. I don't think that's gonna take too long. I don't think that's gonna be like a super huge game. I could probably finish that in like a month of just streaming it on Tuesdays, and then we'll catch back up with Assassin's Creed on the flip side. Obviously, continue with Yakuza on Wednesdays and Red Dead Redemption on Fridays, and the podcast is always on Saturdays. So, right on. All right, chat. Well, thanks for coming along, and I will see y'all on the next one. Watch is yours. Take care.